dodges, as we say, the proverbial bullet. And the Volunteers go on offense, first down and 10 to go.
When you've got a tough question and you want a straight answer, ask an expert. If you've got questions about your family's insurance coverage, you've got an expert right down the street, just by calling a State Farm agent and asking. The advice is free, and the decisions are yours. So why not call your State Farm agent?
Okay, it's time to talk football. Our first call is from Charlie. Charlie, where do you predict the real football action will be this year?
At your Shell station.
Whoa, time out. Have you been playing without a helmet?
No, when you fill up with 8 or more gallons of Formula Shell gasoline, you get a Tennessee team glass for only 99 cents.
I got it. Get a big orange glass every time you need gas. Shell is where the real action is. Offer may vary. Good while supplies last at participating stations.
Sold in Tennessee by Harriman Oil Harriman, Hollingsworth Oil Springfield, Parsons Oil Fayetteville. Tennessee goes on offense, first down and 10 to go. Bill Anderson, Peyton Manning at quarterback, but this East Carolina team is a veteran offensive team, and they certainly look very poised as they took that first possession.
Big and strong.
Tennessee inside its 15-yard line after receiving the punt. Manning and off. Jay Graham gets a yard, that's all. He's stuck. As right there is Marvin Burke, the middle linebacker for East Carolina. It's defensive front. They play a 4-3. Lorenzo West, 6'3", 238. Stacy Whitehead, 6'6", 295. Walter Scott, 6'3", 271. Aaron Black, 6'4", 255. Liviano, 6'3", 235. The leading tackler last year at linebacker. Burke, who just made the stop, 6'1", 249. Foreman, 6'1", 224. Tennessee, nothing. East Carolina, nothing. Second down, 9 for Tennessee. Out of the I formation. This is Manning looking to throw. Pass down and out did he catch it? Complete. It is pulled down for Tennessee for the first down to Nilo Sylvan, who dived to make the catch and rolled on top to protect the ball. And it will be for the Vols, first down and 10 to go out to the 26-yard line. Emmanuel McDaniel, one of the quarterbacks, was there to make the tackle. At the other corner, Hank Cooper, and the twins, they are identical twins, will be at safeties, David Hart and Darren Hart. Manning at quarterback for Tennessee. Last year, 89 of 144, 62% completion. First and 10 for Tennessee. He's checking off out of the I formation against a four-man front. This is Graham. Left side, cuts back, has the ball 30, has the ball 35, has the ball 38, has first down, Tennessee. Jay Graham running behind Lehman and Peterson. Darren Hart saunters across to make the tackle, but Graham picked the hole, Bill Anderson, and just went rolling forward for a first down.
Yeah, when they needed, John, they like to run over that left side. That behind Lehman and Peterson, they just blew everybody off the ball that time.
So Tennessee in a 0-0 game will have it first down and 10 at the Volunteer 38-yard line. This possession began back inside the 15 at the 13. Manning has two wides left, one to the right. Manning to Graham, a little slowly developing play that time, and as Graham gets back to the line, that's about it. It was Travis Darton, who's come on for Black at the defensive right end, who makes the tackle. But that play, Bill, had not much of a chance.
No, I think he probably went the wrong way. Looked like he almost missed the handoff there. The back was too deep, and then he tried to cut it back in. By the time he did that, no hole there.
Second down, 10, Tennessee. Actually got a half a yard on the play, so it's a little less than 10. Into the I formation. Hyden this time is to the right side against a four-man front. Manning, straight drop. Sets up a screen. Pull down behind the line at the 35. Penalty marker is down as carrying forward and diving out of bounds near the 45-yard line will be Jay Graham, who made the catch coming out of the backfield. Morris Foreman was the man who chased him out, but there was a penalty marker down on the play. Score 0-0. Tennessee, coached by Philip Fulmer.
There's no flag on the play. There's no flag.
There was a flag, but it had no effect. I saw the flag, Bill. Somebody dropped it. And, of course, he's assisted on offense by David Cutcliffe, Mark Bradley, Steve Marshall, Randy Sanders, and Pat Washington, in addition, who coaches the receivers. On defense, Johnny Chavis, Dan Brooks, Steve Caldwell, Kevin Ramsey. Graduate assistant in charge of the kicking game, Dick O'Brien. Robbie Collier, a graduate assistant. Trainer, Mike Rollo. Tennessee to the line. And here, another flag. This time the play is stopped, and so it will be a discussion among the officials. Bill?
I think it's a clock.
The clock is well, East Carolina apparently is going to ask for a timeout. The clock.
Natural gas has sponsored these broadcasts for over a quarter century.
Players change, coaches change. But what we say about natural gas doesn't change.
Comfort.
Prescription Access Link computer system. For your peace of mind, it links every store together and gives every pharmacist your medical background, drug allergies, and prescription information. Revco, a friend for life.
It says 3rd and 9. I'm not sure it's third down. Anyway, to the line, Tennessee handoff goes, and driving forward will be Eric Lane, the fullback. And he's moved it out to right at midfield. And, well, that will be enough for the first down, because on the previous play it was Graham pulling it down and moving 1.5 yards short, so it was 3rd down and short. Now we'll get back in sync. Not only the clock is not operating, Bill, I'm not operating very well. It'll be first down for Tennessee. Forget what else we said. 1st and 10 at the 49. Tennessee to the line. Manning. Play action fakes. Rolls left. Looks downfield. Man wide open. Pass complete. Pulled down at the 34-yard line. That had to be Joey Kent. It was Marcus Nash who went up to pull it down, and he was drilled as he made the catch. Holds on to the football as Dwight Henry came across to knock down Marcus Nash. But Tennessee, moving downfield, has another first down. Bill, there were 3 men open that time.
Yeah, there was people open everywhere, but Peyton picked a deep one, and nice throw.
Tennessee moving with the football in a scoreless game. It will be first down and 10, Tennessee on the east hash mark, moving toward the south into the football field at the 33-yard line of the Pirates of East Carolina. I formation. Here comes the blitz. Manning looking long, going down deep into the end zone. It is incomplete for a diving Joey Kent. As Manning, after getting the pass away, was hit and hit hard, but he jumps back up. And the officials are in to indicate there's a penalty marker down on the play. Manning goes deep, and Kent had his man by a step and a half, but the pass was overthrown and is incomplete. East Carolina is coached by Steve Logan.
Offside on the defense, 5-yard penalty.
So you heard it, first down and 5 for Tennessee. Logan is assisted by Todd Berry, who is the offensive coordinator. He was an assistant at Tennessee back in 1983 and coached at UT Martin from 86 to 89. Tennessee first down and 5 yards to go. Graham, left side, stops, but then lowers his head and burrows forward for a gain of right at 3, maybe 3.5 yards. The first down marker is at the 24. He is down to the 25 in the arms of Stacy Whitehead. Also on the Pirates staff is Jeff Jagodinsky. Doug Martin, who was born in Knoxville, actually played at Oak Ridge High School, later went to Kentucky as a quarterback. Willie Scott. Defense, Paul Jetty. Jim Fleming, who played at the University of the South. Tennessee handoff this time goes to Jay Graham, and Graham on a quick opening play through the left side of the line is hit and shoved back, and there's a loss on the play. Once again, the play did not develop that sharply, and as Graham tries the left side, Lorenzo West is there to make the tackle on him. So now Tennessee has its second down in right at 3.5 yards to go in a scoreless game. The ball is spotted back just inside the 27-yard line. Into the game for Tennessee returns Joey Kent. Graham, 5 carries, 20 yards. Tennessee a single running back, 2 wideouts left, 2 to the right, 4-man front. Manning back, looks, waits, pass down and out, is yanked down. That will be a first down. Big David Horn, the tight end, just widens to the left side, and the pass on target, and he backs his way out of bounds, Bill. It appears to me to be plenty for the first down.
Yeah, I think he was looking right at the boundary marker, and so he's picked it up by about a yard.
So Tennessee keeps the drive moving. This time Manning going to the tight end, David Horn, who last year caught 11 passes for 34 yards, 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. The ball's to the line. Manning goes into a shotgun. He's some 6 yards behind the center. 2 wideouts right, 2 left. Waiting for the snap. There it is. Manning with protection, looking. Comes out to the near side, dumps the pass off to enough receiver who makes the catch at the 23 and scrambles down. That's Horn again to the 21.5 yard line where Darren Hart made the tackle. Still, Tennessee has receivers all over the place, and he went to the safety valve just hanging around David Horn.
Well, Horn just went about 3 or 4 yards deep there and stopped, turned around. He was wide open. Manning wanted to go deep with it, but couldn't find anybody, so he just dumped it off to him. Of course, Carolina's defense converged back on him and stopped him for a short gain.
A gain on the play of right at 5.5, 6 yards. Tennessee will have the ball, spot it just outside the 16-yard line of East Carolina. Back to an I formation this time. East Carolina sees Tennessee give the ball off to Jay Graham. Graham comes ripping through the right side of the line. Is hit at the 15, squirms free, and drives forward to the 11.5 yard line, where Marvin Burke makes the tackle on him. Not until he has first down, Big Orange. That was the 13th play of this drive, as Tennessee began back at its own 13-yard line, has now moved the ball down to the 11, just a little beyond the 11-yard line on the right or west hash mark. Wide to the left, Nash will be sliding inside of Sylvan. On the near side, Joey Kent, singly covered. They may double him. Manning checks the defense. Long count. Handoff goes to Jay Graham. Penalty marker is down. Graham gets the handoff through the left side of the line at the 10. Veers back to the 8, fights down to the 6.5 yard line, where he is tackled by Lorenzo West. We talked about East Carolina dancing around. They might have violated the neutral zone, I'm not sure, as the officials again will discuss the play. There are 1, 2, 3 markers down. The ball has been spotted and the clock restarted and then was stopped, as the officials will discuss it. The strength coach for Tennessee, John Stuckey, assisted by Dan Bailey and Tom Moffitt, as offside is the call against East Carolina. Bill, there was a lot of movement in that neutral zone.
Yeah, they were trying to get the jump on the ball, and Manning put a little bit of a delayed snap on him and caught him with it.
So Tennessee is going to accept the penalty, actually losing about maybe 8 inches from where the gain had been made, but of course Tennessee picks up another down. So it will be first down and 5 at right at the 6.5 yard line. Manning puts his team in the eye. He's got a tight end as a wingback right. The tight end becomes a man in motion left. They could be running behind him. They do. That's Graham with the ball. As he tries to go wide, he trips over who else? David Horn, the tight end, who was attempting to block Bill.
Yeah, they had a pretty good hold set up out there, and if he could have got around Horn, but he committed himself too far inside to get around him.
So it's going to be for Tennessee just about what it was a moment ago. Actually, a loss on the play back to the 8. So Tennessee did have it, second down at the 6, but took the penalty. So now it's second down and right at 7 yards to go. Some 8 yards to go for the touchdown. Horn, same play, man in motion. Tennessee back to the near side, and the fullback carries it forward and comes battling down to about the 5 yard line, as the entire left side of the East Carolina defense is there to try to contain Eric Lane. Emmanuel McDaniel comes up to help out Whitehead and Scott. The ball equidistant between the side boundaries at the 5 yard line. In for the balls comes the substitution, bringing the play. And that will be Ronnie Pillow, a running back, but also an excellent pass receiver. And so Pillow will go to the left side. For Tennessee in a 0-0 game, third down, 3 for a first, 5 for a score. Pillow, man in motion, back to the near side. Manning to pass. Manning throws the pass. It is complete, but I think short of the first down. It was caught by Joey Kent, who made the catch and was immediately knocked down. And so Tennessee will have it fourth down and about a foot. And into the game for the Volunteers, apparently, to attempt the field goal, will be Jeff Hall. The ball is now at the 2.5 yard line, and Tennessee wants to think about this.
Friends, this is John Ward of the Ball Network. And for the next 26 seconds, speaking for the Volunteers at First Tennessee Bank. These friendly First Tennesseans want to help you reach your goals in life, whatever your goals may be, with student loans, installment loans, mortgages, and home equity lines of credit. So, if you need help to reach your goals, remember the Volunteers at First Tennessee Bank. They're here for you. Member FDIC.
For everyone, it'll be so fun.
you, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Tennessee has the ball, 4th down and about 1/2 yard to go for the first out. The placement kicking team had come into the football game, and now they have gone out of the football game. And Peyton Manning is back in there at quarterback, and so reacting, East Carolina is going into its goal line defense, stacking it up in the middle. Tennessee overloading to the right side. Manning against East Carolina. Inches to go. This will be Graham diving. He's got a first down. Does he have a touchdown? Not quite. But he's got it. First down and goal for Tennessee as Jay Graham goes vaulting over the right side of the line. And he was ridden down probably by Libiano, the linebacker, but Tennessee changes its mind, Bill. Did the fans have something to do with that?
I don't think there's any question about that, John. It worked out for them. They got a good surge by the right side of their offensive line and knocked them back in there pretty good.
So the football is the football length away from the goal line in the scoreless game. Tennessee in that same set, overloading to the right side with an extra offensive tackle. Graham, the standing tailback. Manning sneaking. Give him 6. Touchdown, Tennessee. Tennessee comes out. Peyton Manning on a relatively quick count goes driving right behind Big Bubba Miller, Jeff Smith, Trey Peterson, and crunches into the end zone so that Tennessee has marched downfield. It's an 87-yard drive in 18 plays, and the Volunteers will have now in to attempt the extra point. Jeff Hall holding Price, snapping Ingram. The Vols lead 6-0. Jeff Hall trying for his first extra point. Did he make it? He made it.
This season, there are 2 places you can feel Big Orange excitement. Come to Neyland Stadium or drop by your local Shell station. Now, when you fill up with 8 or more gallons of Formula Shell gasoline, you receive a Tennessee football team glass for only 99 cents. Just think, a Big Orange glass every time you need gasoline. Drive off a winner with Formula Shell, the world's best-selling gasoline, and your UT team glass. Offer may vary. Good while supplies last at participating stations. Sold in Tennessee by Matco Express Memphis, Rayo Petroleum Gallatin, Gold Star Petroleum Nashville.
Mr. Baker,
Sir?
our records show you've rescued the company from bankruptcy,
Yes.
saved CEO Baker's life, and you're the godfather to all my children.
Yes,
Mr. Pepone.
Yo.
You set fire to my wife's wig at the company picnic.
Oh, yeah.
But you also eat your pizza the wrong way, crust first.
Yep.
Welcome aboard, son. You're our new partner.
No fair.
Stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut with a ring of cheese baked in the edge of a totally new, thinner crust. A large is just $9.99, first topping free. And now with free garlic dipping sauce. Available at participating restaurants.
87 yards, 18 plays, 8 minutes and 4 seconds, Bill.
Well, they had some good plays along the way picking up the first down, but I like the way they mixed their plays, John. They threw the ball a couple times on first downs, as I recall. Good series.
Here's the kickoff coming downfield by Hall. This one 1 yard deep in the end zone. Galloway hauls it out. 5, 10,
Boom.
15. Bang! He's dropped at the 16-yard line as Tennessee is downfield covering. And it will be the man making the stop this time is Anthony Hampton, who is 6'4", 6'5", a linebacker for Tennessee on the special teams. East Carolina on offense. First down and 10 to go. The score in the game, 7-0, as Tennessee marched downfield with its first possession. After East Carolina had picked up 2 first downs, there is a penalty marker back at the kicking point, and Tennessee is going to be asked to kick off once
Kicking
more.
team was offside.
As we hear, Tennessee was offside kicking, and so East Carolina, obviously hoping for better field position, will receive this kickoff coming from the Volunteer 30-yard line. East Carolina University is located in Greenville, North Carolina, was founded in 1907, has an enrollment of 16,375 students. The athletic director, Mike Hamrick, they're an independent team, not a member of a conference at this point. Colors purple and gold. They play at Dowdy Ficklen Stadium, which seats 35,000. Last year finished 7-5-0, went to the Liberty Bowl. So here's Hall to kick off again from 5 yards deeper. Hits it pretty well, nevertheless. This one will be all the way to the goal line. This is Galloway again, looking for them to set up the wedge. Galloway has the ball to the 5, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, out to the 23-yard line where he is tackled. And it was Steve Johnson who was downfield to make the tackle at that point. East Carolina will have the ball on the near hash mark. That would be the left hash mark at the 24-yard line after the return of 24 yards by Galloway.
Dead ball foul. Personal foul on the kicking team.
Well,
penalty would be half the distance to the goal line.
There you heard. There was a little action after the play had stopped, and one of the East Carolina players shoved a Volunteer after the whistle had clearly sounded. So, Bill, unfortunately for the Pirates, a half of the distance to the goal penalty for a dead ball foul.
I could hear it up here. That was a pretty strong shove.
First down and 10. East Carolina into an I formation, deep in its own territory. Tennessee with a 4-man defensive line. Long count Crandall. Crandall hands off with the ball. This is McPhail who breaks one tackle as he carves a niche to the right side out to the 15-yard line. Tackled by Corey Gaines. Play started at the 12, out to the 15, second down and 7 yards to go. The University of Tennessee in Knoxville was founded in 1794. Enrollment currently 25,648. President Dr. Joe Johnson, Chancellor Dr. William Snyder, Chairman of the Executive Committee of the Athletic Board, Tom Elam. Single running back as Crandall looks over a 6-man Tennessee front. Crandall, play action, fading to throw. Crandall gets some pressure, past the middle. Pass is complete up to the 25-yard line. Excellent, excellent pass and reception. Derek Batson, the senior from Miami, was covered pretty well, but the pass, Bill Anderson, was right on target, even though Crandall was being pressured, and that will be enough for the first down.
Yeah, he zipped it in there, too. The thing about it was a little bit high. He went up to get the ball, and as a result of it being high, the defender couldn't make a play on it.
So here's East Carolina trailing 7-0 with 1:46 to go in the first quarter. Crandall out of the shotgun. Tennessee with a blitz. And that was Little who forced the play. Crandall felt him coming, so he dances forward and is buried by Billy Barrod. But Leonard Little, Bill Anderson, made the play.
Quick. That's all you got to do is get in there, John. He was in there. He made the quarterback pull it down and try to do something else. When he did, he ran into all kinds of trouble.
So the ball is spotted right at the line. Actually, a little loss on the play, not much. We'll call it second down, still 10 yards to go. East Carolina with the quarterback up under the center, single running back behind him, one flanker left, two to the right. Tennessee 4-man front, 7-0 Tennessee leading. Delay, handoff will go to the tailback, and carrying the ball through the left side of the line, forward for a gain of close to 5 yards, will be McPhail. And McPhail moves on actually out close to the 34-yard line before he is nailed. Good blocking up front on the part of Jamie Gray and Charles Booth, as Tennessee had shifted actually into a situation with 3 down linemen, and so East Carolina had the numbers on the near side, and they've got it third down and right at 3 yards to go. The Vols lead 7-0. 3rd and 3, just short of the 35-yard line. Tennessee moves into a 6-man front. Crandall back to throw. Pass down and out, complete. Beautiful pattern. Pulled down at the 40, the 45, and finally slung out of bounds as he moves to the 50-yard line is Derek Batson. But that was a brilliantly conceived and perfectly executed pass play, Bill.
Well, he ran the drag out over there. Had the wide out clear in the area. It was an excellent call for the defense Tennessee was in. It hit him in the weak spot.
First down, East Carolina. Right at midfield. Ball on the right hash mark. 22 seconds to go in the first quarter of this game. Once again, East Carolina with a single running back, 2 wideouts to the near side. Tennessee creeping up on the left with a handoff this time to the tailback, and this will be McPhail, and McPhail is met quickly by Leonard Little.
He came all the way from the outside around the corner and got the man before he could take the handoff up the middle.
A loss in the play of a yard, and that probably is going to be the end of the first quarter of this football game. Indeed it is. So at the end of one, a break for our stations along the line as we tell you, Mr. Referee, the first quarter is over. Mr. Ref, thank you. We'll tell you, we'll be back in just 1 minute.
Year after year, Tennessee football promises to be tough and competitive. He's at the 5, touchdown! The same traits you find in rugged Toyota trucks, like the big, bold T100 and the all-new Tacoma. Built in the U.S., these trucks have some of the highest retail values around. Just like Tennessee, Toyota trucks have the heart and soul of a winner. And just like Tennessee, they're every inch a champion. See the T100 and Tacoma at your Volunteer Toyota dealer today.
Pardon's Jewelers on North Broadway offers not only fine quality jewelry for the ladies, there's many eye-catching items for men as well. The man in your life is sure to get excited about a gift of jewelry from Pardon's. Gents genuine coin rings are as low as $199. Gents full-carat diamond cluster rings are priced from $399. With Pardon's insistence on fine quality and value, the only name you need to know to make a smart purchase is Pardon's on North Broadway near I-640.
The first quarter has ended. Tennessee leads by a score of 7-0. In the first quarter, Tennessee had possession for 8:04, East Carolina 6:56. Attendance at this evening's game, 95,416. This broadcast is authorized under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Tennessee through Host Communications, Knoxville, Tennessee, solely for the entertainment of our listening audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the description and account of this game without the express consent of the University of Tennessee and Host Communications is prohibited. The announcers are employees of Host Communications, have been selected with the approval of the University of Tennessee. East Carolina, second down and 11. Heading toward the south end. Back to throw Crandall, being pursued from the backside. Pass downfield is thrown away. As Tennessee got pressure from the backside, it was Richardson, the apparent intended receiver, but Tennessee actually, it was running for his life as Steve White came from the backside, the defensive end who last year had 7 sacks. He's from Memphis. A couple other balls also. And so it will be third down, still right at 10.5 yards to go. Big production on third down throughout this game by East Carolina. Crandall out of a shotgun. 2 wide outs to the wide side left. He's looking that way. Pass is pulled down behind the line at the 50, down to the 45. Has a first down to the 40, all the way to the 38-yard line. Again, a very well-executed play as they hit the slot man on the left side, and the wide receiver over there had chopped down the cornerback, opening up a corridor. And by the time that Jason Nichols moved forward, he was trailed and tackled by Shane Burton, but not until he had picked up another first down. It's down to the Tennessee 39-yard line when they spot it. So here's East Carolina trailing 6-0, but moving with the football. They shift the tight end to the left side. Tennessee with 3 down linemen. Crandall sizes it up. McPhail behind him. The give goes to McPhail at the corner. He got a ceiling block from that tight end who had moved over there. He turns the corner to the 35, moves down to the 30, and dives forward, I think, for another first down as he was pulled down finally by Terry Fair. They'll pull the ball, bring the ball in and spot it. It should be and is first down and 10 to go at the Tennessee 28-yard line. Reacting to Tennessee's 3-man front, Bill Anderson, they run wide.
Yeah, they got a good block there, as you mentioned, John, on the outside. They had a little outnumbered Tennessee over on that side, and they were able to pick up good yardage.
So it's first down. East Carolina trailing 7-0, but moving with the football. Back to throw Crandall on first down. Pass down and out is incomplete at the 25-yard line. It was intended downfield for Galloway, the H-back, and he was banged just as the ball got there by Raymond Austin at 5'11", 181, a junior. So it's got to be second down. A penalty marker is down on the play. It will be second down upcoming as the officials are visiting with a Tennessee representative at this point. East Carolina has done quite a job on third down in this football
Illegal
game.
formation.
They're 3 of 3.
On the offense, penalties declined. Second
That
down.
would be a 5-yard penalty. And so it's going to be second down, still 10 yards to go. The wide receivers, Galloway, actually an H-back, which is the way he's listed. He lines up in the backfield, but more often than not becomes a slot player. Linwood DeBrew is in there along with Jason Nichols now. Here comes East Carolina second down and 10. They overload with 3 wide receivers to the near side. Crandall looking this way. Pumps once, looks, pass downfield, incomplete. A little pressure that time coming from Tennessee as the intended receiver was Mitchell Galloway, but Tennessee got some pressure off the backside. And so it's going to be third down and still 10 yards to go. Bill, he's 3 of 3 on third. Change that, 4 of 5 on third down. Tennessee's 3 of 3. So here he... It will be 3rd down and 10 yards to go. Into a shotgun. Crandall. Long pass downfield is going to be incomplete. Intended for big 6'6" Shannon at the 2-yard line. Tried to free himself with a little elbow, but the pass was overthrown nevertheless. Deron Jenkins defending against him. And so into the game to attempt a field goal will be Chad Holcomb, who was 6 of 13 last year. This will be a 45-yard attempt, his longest 47. Tennessee 7, East Carolina nothing. Snap down, kick in the air. The kick is going to be no good. No good. And so Tennessee will get the ball for only the 2nd time in this football game. 13:41 to go in the first half of the contest. At quarterback, Peyton Manning. He's backed up by Jeremy Bates. 5:11 timeout has been asked for, I think. Yes, we do have a timeout, so let's take a break from our stations along the Ball Network line as we say with timeout, 13:41 to go in the first half. The score, Tennessee 7, East Carolina nothing.
As long as there is thirst, there's always the real thing. Coca-Cola Classic is always the one. Whenever there is fun, there's always Coca-Cola. Yeah. Coca-Cola. Always Coca-Cola.
To Executone of East Tennessee, communication is second nature. Simply put, we create systems designed to furnish solutions. Communication solutions that give your business a competitive edge. Like automated attendant to dramatically boost your call processing power. In today's business world, it's the survival of the fittest. For communication solutions, call Executone of East Tennessee at 588-5723.
Tennessee leads 7-0, first down. This will be Manning back to throw out to the right flat. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10 for the Volunteers. 13:36 to go. Tennessee to the line once more. Manning has his team in the I formation. Delay, fakes the ball to Graham, rolls to the right side, being pursued, gives ground, throws the ball downfield, and simply throws it away. Incomplete. Will a flag be dropped? I'm waiting to see. Manning was chased out of bounds, and the penalty marker is down. As Darren Hart was the man defending, and Tennessee's going to draw an intentional grounding penalty would be my guess. As Manning had nobody open, but he was being chased far back into his own territory. And here's the call.
No foul. There was a player in the area, no foul.
Oh.
Well, there were 93 players in the area, Bill Anderson, Tennessee sideline.
There wasn't one in the area of catching the ball, I don't believe. That's a good break for the ball.
So it's going to be for Tennessee 3rd down, still 10 yards to go. As East Carolina adjusts defensively, using a lot of different looks defensively against Tennessee. Manning goes into a shotgun this time on 3rd down and 10, his team leading 7-0. 5 yards deep. Snap Manning. Manning looks across the middle. Pass pulled out by Joey Kent, who makes the catch at the 40. Slips and falls. First down. Joey Kent comes ripping Bill Anderson diagonally through that secondary. The pass just slightly behind him, or he might have broken it.
Boy, he's got the speed to break it anytime he gets in that secondary, but he just came in the open area, the short drop by Manning, and he just dumped it over the line to him.
First down, Tennessee leading 7-0, ball at the 40-yard line. The Volunteers 4 of 4 on 3rd down tries. And as Tennessee lines up, somebody steps in, that being East Carolina, I assume, to ask for a timeout. We'll take another timeout right now as we tell you with 13:03 to go in the first half at Knoxville. Tennessee 7, East Carolina nothing.
For one-stop shopping convenience, shop the Personal Care Center at Kroger. You'll find a large selection of health and beauty care items for the entire family at the low prices you expect from your favorite grocery stores. From shampoo to saline, from cosmetics to cough syrup, the Kroger Personal Care Center has what you need. This week, you'll find Huggies diapers in the 48-count to 64-count jumbo packs are only $11.99 in the Personal Care Center at Kroger. There's only one you, only one Kroger.
Although the thermometer's still climbing, there's still nothing hotter this summer than the deals during Jeep Summer Days, now held over, where you can still get red-hot values on every Jeep vehicle in stock, including the award-winning Jeep Grand Cherokee, classic Jeep Cherokee, and legendary Jeep Wrangler. But you better hurry into Jeep Summer Days, because deals this incredibly hot are bound to cool down fast. Jeep is a registered trademark of Chrysler Corporation.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
Tennessee will hand the ball with 13:03 to go. First down and 10 to go at the 40-yard line of the Volunteers. Tennessee leads 7-0 opening game against East Carolina. The Pirates line up in a 4-down line situation as Tennessee comes with a single running back. And this will be he left side. Has the ball to the 40, to the 45, to the 50. First down as running through the left side of the line. Big hole there. Jay Graham for Tennessee rips forward for what appears to be 11 yards and a first down. Morris Foreman makes the tackle, but Bill once more moving through the left side of the line.
Yeah, they popped a hole in there, and Graham really hit that one on the move. That was a quick hitting play and picked up the first down. Nice yardage.
Tennessee leading 7-0, now moving into East Carolina territory. Still in the same set. 2 wides right, 2 to the left. Single running back, 4-man front. Manning sizes it up. Back to throw. Straight drop. Manning waiting, looking, being pursued. Throws downfield. It is incomplete. It was intended to the slanting Graham. But good coverage in the secondary. Obviously, Tennessee had 4 receivers flooding both sides of the field. But they were very well protected as McDaniel, Crumby, who's come into the ball game, and the Hart twins doing a good job. And Manning, simply Bill, could find nobody.
No, he had nobody open downfield, and he had to try to come back to a second or third receiver there and pick him up in the flat. But good job by Carolina.
So it's going to be second down for Tennessee, 10 yards to go, leading 7-0. Into an I formation this time. The fullback back in there. Manning sizes it up as he's got 2 wide receivers to the near side, slotting his Nash. Handoff Graham, right side 45, Graham 42. Graham knocked down as he moves dangerously close to the 40-yard line and about 1.5 yards shy of the first. B.J. Crane was there as Jay Graham continues to run for Tennessee on quick opening plays. Bill, when he hits it quick, it obviously early Tennessee a little slow developing. Now he's gone 10 carries, 43 yards.
Straight ahead, just a quick shot. They're trying to run to the right and then cut back in, or right and left. Took too much time. This quick hitting stuff has been very effective for them.
Tennessee 3rd down and 2. Wing back right. Manning looks over a defense which has become a 5-man front. Doesn't like what he sees, so he's going to ask for a timeout. Let's go to the Big Orange scoreboard and Randy Smith.
Thank you, John. Southeastern Conference scores of games just underway. Ole Miss and Auburn are tied 3-3 at the end of one. Florida is up on Houston 35-14. That game is at halftime. Also, it's Memphis trailing Mississippi State 14-0. That's in the first quarter. Louisville, Kentucky underway. They're scoreless late in the first. Couple of finals in the Southeastern Conference. Texas A&M beat LSU today 33-17, and Georgia came back from a 17-7 deficit early in the third to post a 42-23 win over South Carolina in the SEC. Also, top-ranked Florida State beat Duke today 70-26. Texas A&M, we told you, beat Louisiana State. Michigan over Illinois 38-14. And it's North Carolina, Syracuse, 0-0 there in the first quarter of play. John?
Next week, Tennessee plays Georgia here in Knoxville. Our broadcast will begin at 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central Daylight Time. Bill Anderson, any difference in Tennessee's defensive scheme have you picked up?
A lot, and I like it, John. They're getting after it. They're coming across, getting penetration, putting pressure on the quarterback a lot of different ways.
3rd down to Tennessee on offense. Manning has his team there, same set of wing back to the right will be the tight end. Manning looks it over. Manning steps to throw, pass downfield, complete. First down, Big Orange. Who did he go to? Joey Kent. Who else? David Hart defending, but Manning just stood up and ripped the ball to Kent, who last year, as we mentioned, had 36 catches, 470 yards. He, a junior from Huntsville, Alabama, and Bill, a dependable receiver.
No question. He threw that. That was into double coverage, too. He managed to work it in between the crease, between the 2 defenders out there to make the catch.
Ball rests at the East Carolina 36-yard line. Tennessee leads 7-0. Here comes the blitz. Manning hands off to the tailback who runs right into the blitz, and so Graham is stopped for no gain. Almost, but not quite. as East Carolina came with the blitz, and Tennessee runs, as we said, basically right into it. That's the way the play was designed, and East Carolina sized it up well. B.J. Crane, the blitzing linebacker, was the man to make the tackle. Half a yard pickup, make it second down, still 10 yards to go. The Vols lead 7-0. Their drive back in the first quarter consumed 8 minutes and 4 seconds, 18 plays. Into an I formation this time against the four-man front. Manning with a long count. Looks to the right side. There's where Kent is. He's got a wide receiver to the near side, Sylvan. Here's the blitz. Manning dumps it out to the tailback. Graham pulls it down at the 40, to the 35, to the 30. Carries the ball on down and is bumped out of bounds as he gets to the 24-yard line. But that was Jay Graham coming out of the backfield, and he took that looping pass from Manning, ran through one defender to crunch it forward, and when they finally mark the ball, it will be, Bill, at the 24.
Yeah, just a simple swing pass to the back coming out of the backfield. Manning, the wideouts cleared the area a little bit, and Manning just dumped it over to him and let it give him a chance to run with it.
So Tennessee has another first down. This one has moved the ball actually to the 23 when they finally spot it. Tennessee leading 7-0. Ball on the left hash mark at the 23-yard line. First down, 10 to go. Manning, Graham wrapped up and dropped. Penetrating well to make the tackle this time was Stacy Whitehead. As Graham, a little quick opener up the middle, fails to materialize thanks to the excellent defensive play of 6'6", 295 sophomore Stacy Whitehead. Tennessee shuttling players in and out, tight end back in. Here goes Graham out getting a rest for the first time. And so Tennessee conceivably could line up. Well, we'll wait and see how Tennessee lines up. 9:55 to go in the first half. As we assume, Tennessee does not have a running back behind quarterback Manning. 5 receivers into the game, including 2 wing backs left and right. Manning back. Good protection. Manning waiting. Manning throwing. Pass incomplete. Intended to one of those tight ends. This time it was big Scott Pfeiffer, who was there along with Horn and Sartell. Carlos Brown made the tackle on him, as once more this defensive secondary of the Pirates doing an excellent job taking away the potential receivers. For Tennessee, it's got to be third down and 11. Ball rests at the 23-yard line. That would make it a 40-yard field goal attempt if, in fact, that ends up. Tennessee leads 7-0. The Vols on third down now 5 of 5 to this point. Same set for Tennessee. 3 receivers right, 2 into the boundary left, 4-man front for East Carolina. Tennessee back to throw. This will be Manning being pursued. Got to run with the football, and it's dropped as he gets to the 19. Get up. He did. Peyton Manning carried the ball as it opened up, and he moves down to the 19. So instead of the 40-yard field goal, it's now going to become a bit shorter, as into the game will come Jeff Hall to attempt one. Where is he going to put the tee? Right at the 27-yard line. It will be a 37-yard attempt by Jeff Hall. 6 feet, 182, a freshman. Holding will be Price, snapping Ingram. Ball from the left hash mark toward the north end of the football field. 7-0 Tennessee. Hall will try it. The kick in the air by Jeff Hall. The kick by Jeff Hall is good. Tennessee leads 10-0. A full hour of highlights from tonight's game comes your way tomorrow as the UTV Network brings you the Philip Fulmer Show. Tune in across the state, throughout the South for detailed game coverage. Comments from Coach Fulmer, plus features and interviews with Vol players and coaches. Watch for the Philip Fulmer Show tomorrow in the Tri-Cities, Channel 5, 11:30 a.m. Knoxville, Channel 10, 9 a.m. Nashville, Channel 2, 1 p.m. Chattanooga, Channel 9, 1 p.m. Memphis and Jackson, Channel 24, 10:30 p.m. And on Sports South Cable Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. 12 plays, 53 yards to the field goal. So Tennessee, what's the time on the drive? We'll check it because Tennessee's had the ball 8 minutes and 4 seconds in the first drive. And now Tennessee in this drive has it for, we'll check it. But the Vols have had 2 possessions, Bill, both of them long drives.
Yeah. That's
30 plays for Tennessee.
Eat up a lot of clock. If you can keep the drives, that's the kind of drives you want to have if you can put them together, because the other team doesn't have the ball. They can't do much damage to you.
Here's the kickoff from Hall, and it goes skittering through the end zone all the way past the baseline. And so as he sort of knuckleballed it, a line drive to the near side, but the receiver Galloway simply couldn't get over there in time, and so it goes as a touchback. So Hall has done a good job thus far in the football game, kicking for Tennessee. He just made the field goal a moment ago, and it will be for East Carolina. First down and 10 to go at its 20-yard line. Trailing now 10-0 with 8:51 to go in the first half of the game. Single running back is McPhail. Man in motion is Galloway. Pitch will go to McPhail. He can throw. Halfback pass downfield is going to be intercepted. Tennessee at the 45. He has the ball to the 50. Heading to the far sideline. This will be Tennessee to the 40. Cuts back to the 35. Has the ball at the 33 as the interception for Tennessee is made downfield. And it was returned all the way to, they finally put it at the 31-yard line. So it was the throw by the tailback, as we mentioned, out of the halfback pass, which we had anticipated in our pregame situation, and the interception was made by Deron Jenkins, as we mentioned to you. So big play Jenkins, Tennessee with a pass interception, and the Volunteers on offense, first down and 10 to go at the 31-yard line of East Carolina, leading 10-0. Two wide outs left. Where's Nash? Nash sliding on the near side. Manning pumps, looks, throws downfield. Breaking with the football. This will be incomplete all the way down to the goal line. Intended to Joey Kent. Joey Kent was just momentarily had his stride broken by the defender. Then he popped free. But Manning, who was really being pressured, threw slightly long. Had Kent not been deterred and his move downfield, he would have been right on target. So Tennessee's trying to strike quickly for the bomb after the pass interception by Deron Jenkins. And it will be Tennessee second down and 10. Kent right, I formation. Kent is the wide receiver to the right side. Sylvan to the left. I formation. This will be Graham faking. This will be off the play action. Manning throwing into the end zone. Give him 6. Touchdown, Nilo Sylvan. Beautiful play action as Manning faked to Graham. A lot of people went with him. I'll mention no names. And then Manning pulls up, hiding the ball, and rips on the post route the touchdown strike to Nilo Sylvan.
You know, I thought it was going to be too late, John. I saw him with the ball, and he looked downfield. Carolina's defensive secondary is back there in pretty good position, but it looked like he was going to run him out of the end zone before he could ever get the ball to him. But as it is, Sylvan outran everybody and got open in the back of it.
Tennessee 16-0. Hall for the extra point. Splits them. The Volunteers lead 17-0. And so, on the play, the one thing, Bill, that impressed me, Manning did hold the ball. But that ball was delivered, and it was there in a hurry.
Yeah, once he let it go, it zipped. He had some speed on it, and he got it right into the back of the end zone. It was a good throw.
And Sylvan ran a beautiful route. He has great speed, as Tennessee fans know. On that route, he came open on the post and took it about 2.5 yards from the end line. So Tennessee is leaped on top 17-0. Remember, fans, you're never too far away to hear the live play-by-play. Call Team Line from anywhere in the world. 1-800-846-4700. And then you'll punch up 5405. That number again for Team Line, 1-800-846-4700. And then 5405. Too many numbers. 1-800-846-4700. Then 5405. Visa MasterCard required. Somebody, Bill, has called from Beijing. We'll tell you that story. Beijing, China. They're sitting there listening to this. Here's the kickoff going downfield, relatively short this time. Corralled at the 8 by Galloway. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Somersaulted down as he gets to the 33-yard line. As it was Raymond Austin who was there to make the tackle on him. So, East Carolina, which earlier saw its first pass interception thrown by Jones, the tailback, who had taken the handoff from Crandall and came wandering out to the right, pulled up to throw, and Tennessee smelled the play perfectly, and Deron Jenkins intercepted it, returns it 22 yards. Then Tennessee scores on the strike from Manning to Sylvan. East Carolina moves the tight end back into a fullback position. as a blocker perhaps as Crandall sizes up Tennessee's four-man defensive front. The Vols lead 17-0. 2 seconds on the play clock as the give goes to McPhail, and McPhail comes roaring through the right side of the line over tackle and carries the ball out to about the 40-yard line and a bit beyond. He was knocked down by Corey Gaines. 10-second station identification. This is the Ball Network.
This is WIVK AM Knoxville, News Talk Radio 990, the station with traffic reports every 9 minutes during morning rush hour.
From Knoxville, Tennessee, this is John Ward and Bill Anderson sending you the play-by-play. Tennessee leads East Carolina 17-0. First half, 7:37 to go. Crandall off play action back to throw, being pursued. Pass is incomplete, and he took a lick as Tennessee got the pressure on him from both sides. The intended receiver was Linwood DeBrew, but the pass was underthrown, as we mentioned, because Crandall felt the pressure build and had to get rid of the ball.
No question. He got it coming, as you said, from both sides, John, and just as he let it go, he took a lick.
So for East Carolina, it will be 3rd down and 4. 3rd and 4 at the 41-yard line. Into an I formation. They've got the tight end there to block for McPhail, the tailback. Tennessee, 4 down linemen. Linebackers back 3 yards. This will be the pitch going to McPhail. Tries the near corner. Nothing. He got back to the line because the play was turned in as McPhail carries. Shane Burton was there as a penalty marker is down on the play, and it's going to be a personal foul against Tennessee. So, after the tackle was made, a late spearing hit called on the Volunteers, and so here comes the penalty. It would have been 4th down and 3, but the penalty is going to be 15 yards, and that keeps this drive alive for the Pirates. A 15-yard step-off moves the ball into Tennessee territory, as the ball will be spotted now at the Volunteer 44-yard line, at which point it will be 1st down and 10 to go for East Carolina. East Carolina last year lost at Duke in its opening game, won over Temple, lost to Syracuse, won over Southern Miss and South Carolina. As they come to the line, 1st down and 10, Crandall on a quick count back to throw. Gets some pressure, pass across the middle, incomplete. He was spun down as he got rid of the ball by Shane Burton. Intended for Nichols, but really, again, Tennessee's defensive front, Bill, is beginning, I think, more and more to assert itself.
No question. I think probably Carolina's beginning to wear down a little bit, but they're coming in. They're putting the pressure. They're getting penetration with the down lineman, John, and they're doing some stunts and things in there. I like it. They're getting pressure on that quarterback. That's the key to good defense.
6 consecutive incomplete passes attempted by Crandall. This will be 2nd down and 10 at the Tennessee 44-yard line. The Vols lead 17-0. Crandall on a handout this time, a little delay or draw type play through the left side to McPhail, who gets the give to the 40, down to the 35-yard line where he is tackled, about a yard shy of the 1st down. Good quick opening play through the left side. Again, the blocking of Gray and Booth opening the corridor, and George Kidd, the senior from Milan, was the man who makes the tackle. But it will be a sizable gain, so that in 11 carries, McPhail has amassed 49 yards. And right now he needs one more. It will be 3rd down a yard. Tennessee leads 17-0. Crandall sizes up the 4-man front. Crandall back, throws across the middle, pulled down at the 30, breaks to the 25, has the ball to the 20, and is finally pulled down from behind at the 18-yard line as Derek Batson makes the catch, and Scott Gallion has to chase him down. 3rd down short. They go with a quick flip out into the flat, and then racing downfield, Batson moves it for East Carolina. The Pirates at the Tennessee 19-yard line. 1st down and 10 to go.
Tennessee safety over there, strong side safety was up too far off of him, really. John then came up, had a clear shot at him, but he missed the tackle in midfield.
East Carolina moving. They trail 17-0, but deep in Tennessee territory, it's a 1st down. Crandall, handoff this time, McPhail, and McPhail comes lashing through the right side of the line. He's got close to 5, maybe 6 yards, as he battles inside the 15-yard line all the way to the 12 1/2. Tackled by Scott Gallion again. Spots the ball at the 12 1/2-yard line. East Carolina needs the 9 for the 1st. 2nd down upcoming. Tennessee leading 17-0. The Pirates against a 6-man Tennessee front. McPhail, the lone running back behind Crandall. 2 wides left, 1 to the right side. Crandall could be checking off. score 17-0. Second down long. Crandall stands, throws into the end zone. It is incomplete, overthrown, intended for big 6'6" Larry Shannon. A very logical target, Bill Anderson, but that time Tennessee had forced him wide, and so when the pass was released, it went out of bounds on the east side, and it will become third down and still right at 3.5, 4 yards to go.
Yeah, Corey Gaines was all over him. Did a good job of coverage back there, too.
Tennessee leads 17-0. The clock shows 5:13 to go in the first half of the game. East Carolina, third down, 3.5 yards to go, heading toward the south end zone at Neyland Stadium in Knoxville. Crandall sends a man in motion from left to right. That's Nichols. Back to throw. This will be the pass downfield. Batted down. Incomplete. Intended for Shannon, defending Terry Fair.
That's a great move on the ball, John, but the big thing against pressure. He ripped that ball very quickly. Tennessee played the corner over there. Great move on the ball.
So it's going to be fourth down for East Carolina. Next week, Tennessee plays, as we mentioned, Georgia. And we'll have the broadcast beginning at 5 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Next week, it will be East Carolina playing at Syracuse. Carolina's going to go for the first down. Tennessee 17-0. Nichols man in motion right to left. Back to throw Crandall. Being pressured across the middle. Pass is pulled down as he fights for the first down. I think he has it. As the catch is made by a slanting receiver. That was Nichols, who was the man in motion to the left. And then he reverses and comes back to the near side, makes the catch of the 9, and battles down short of the 7-yard line where he's tackled by George Kidd. Again, well-executed play. Well-conceived, well-executed. So East Carolina on 4th and 4 picks up the first down. And the Pirates will now have it first down and goal at the Tennessee 7.5 yard line. Man in motion to the near side, back to throw. This will be downfield. It is caught at the 1 yard line, into the end zone. Touchdown, East Carolina. As the pass was completed to Mike Sellers, the slot man on the left. And it was the quarterback, Crandall, standing up, seeing the target, passing it perfectly there. And as he pulled it down at the 1 yard line, Sellers battles into the end zone. And so East Carolina has moved downfield to score and cut the gap to 17-6. In to attempt the extra point will be Holcomb, who was 26 of 27 last year. Holding will be Crabtree out of the snap by Williams as the kick is in the air, and the kick is good. And so Tennessee's lead is now 17-7. Relive the greatest runs in Tennessee football history when you purchase Volume 3 in the Best of the Big Orange home video series. Introducing the Great Ball Running Backs, an exciting 60-minute look back at the legends of the Tennessee running game, from Gene McEver to James Stewart. On sale now at participating JCPenney stores for $19.99 or by dialing 1-800-529-4500. Sponsored by WIVK Radio, WBIR-TV, and the Knoxville News Sentinel. East Carolina has scored, as this time the drive moves downfield for 67 yards in 11 plays. And thus far in the game, East Carolina has had possession 4 times. Tennessee has had possession 3 times. The Vols lead 17-7. And East Carolina will be kicking off for the first time in the game, as it will be Holcomb to kick, and deep back for Tennessee, in all probability it will be Sylvan and Summers flanking back downfield. 17-7. Tennessee leads with 4:42 to go in the first half of the game. East Carolina moving downfield on the arm of Marcus Crandall. Waiting for the kickoff. The band will be performing at halftime, and it will be just an outstanding performance, saluting, commemorating the 50 years since the end of World War II. Kickoff taken by Tennessee at the goal line. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Right up the middle, here comes Nilo Sylvan, and the Volunteers will hand the ball first down and 10 to go at the 40-yard line. A return of 40 yards by Sylvan. Great speed. He was knocked down by Wallace at the 40-yard line. So Tennessee will go back on offense. First down and 10 to go. Tennessee has scored each time it has had the ball in the ball game. 17-0, 4:35 to go first half. The Vols line up in an I formation. with flankers left and right. The tight end is to the wide side of the field left against the four-man front. Here comes the blitz. Tennessee gives it off and once again runs right into the blitz, as happened earlier. This time the give goes to Graham, and Graham is banged for a loss of a yard on the play. Blitzing from the left side, there is, well, there's a change at tailback. That was Mark Levine, not Graham, carrying the ball. Mark Levine, 5'11", 177 freshman, carries the ball, and he is decked for a loss of a yard on the play. Tennessee leads 17-7, but East Carolina just scored to cut it down to 10. The ball, single running back is Levine. Flankers left and right. Handoff Levine, cuts to the left, twists and turns his way past the 40 to the 41.5-yard line, where he is tackled, and it will be third down and right at 9 yards to go. Libiano was primarily responsible for the stop on the play. East Carolina has a new sports information director, but one familiar to those of us who have covered Southeastern Conference sports, Norm Riley, former assistant sports information director at the University of Georgia. Accepted that position only about 2 weeks ago. Tennessee, third down long. Manning goes into a shotgun. Will they blitz? They've got a linebacker up on the outside left. Manning with a long count. Here comes the blitz. Here's Manning across the middle, pulled down as the catch is made by, that was Marcus Staley making the catch to the 45, to the 50, to the 45, down to the 43-yard line. As Marcus Staley from Charlotte, North Carolina, a sophomore, pulls down the pass, and Manning stood up, knew where he was going to go, and Staley made the catch. First down.
The defensive right end for Carolina let up on Manning too, John. Did you see him? He had him right. Nobody blocked him. He come through there. I thought he was really going to hit him, but he pulled off of him and let him go.
So it will be for Tennessee first down and 10 to go. 2:55 to go in the first half of the game. Tennessee single running back again. This is he with the ball, and he comes crunching through the right side of the line as Mark Levine has moved the ball inside the 40 down to about the 38-yard line. The Vols have used Jay Graham, now Mark Levine at tailback. Ronnie Pillow played one play, but more as a slot player than as a running back. Walter Scott there on the tackle. Eric Lane has played at fullback, but right now Tennessee, as we mentioned, going with only a single running back, Mark Levine. Now Eric Lane comes out to replace him. Long count. Manning sets up a screen penalty marker down on the play. Catch is made at the 40, down to the 35, and shoved out of bounds is Maurice Staley. But there is a marker down as David Hart comes across to make the tackle on him. 17-7 the score with 2:14 to go in the first half of the game, and the discussion will ensue. Senior Associate Athletic Director Gus Manning has been on the University of Tennessee staff for 45 years, serving first as Sports Information Director, then Administrative Assistant to General R.R. Nealon, business manager for many years.
Offside on the defense, 5-yard penalty, repeat second down.
So Tennessee accepts the penalty, and it will be for the Volunteers, second down. Let's see, they place it right at 2. It's a little less than 2 yards to go. Levine is in at tailback for Tennessee. The Vols have 2 wideouts left, one to the right. Benji Schuler in as the slot man on the near side against the 4-man front. Manning doesn't like the defense, so he changes the play. Manning. Levine cuts to the near side, then veers back to the interior and battles for what I think will be a first down. If forward progress is marked where I think he got. Levine, sort of a darting type runner. Veers to the left. Libiano stayed with him to make the tackle, but as they align it, there may be a measurement required. Not so. It's going to be first down, Tennessee. First for the Vols at the 32. 1:40 to go in the first half of the game. Tennessee now into its 2-minute drill, lining up without the huddle. But Manning needs a play. Here it comes in the person of Ronnie Pillow. Out goes Horn. The play clock is down to 14 seconds. Manning in control. Has his players deployed. 3 wideouts to the right side. Single running back. Into the boundary near side. This will be Staley. Pass pulled down by Levine. Levine makes the catch to the 35. Levine to the 30. And is then shoved back after he runs a little delayed tight screen play to the near side to the 27-yard line by Marvin Burke. Again, Tennessee will line it up, fighting the clock. The Volunteers have 1 timeout left. And they will line up with Manning up under the center, second down and 4. Levine stays at tailback, 2 wides right, 2 left. Manning waiting, looking, throwing downfield. Man is there, pulled down, makes the catch at the 11-yard line, that being Maurice Staley. who steps out of bounds to stop the clock at the 11. And Tennessee at that point will have it first down and 10 to go for the first down, 11 to go for a touchdown. And, Bill, the Volunteers have a lot of receivers.
They do, and I think it's going to be more of a passing team from what we've seen here tonight because they got to spread them all over the field. And with Manning throwing back there, it's a tough combination to try to defend against.
Manning now 13 of 19 for 147 yards. Kent, Nash, and Schuler, and Sylvan, and Staley, and Kyler we haven't seen. Manning rolls right. Here comes pressure. Manning looking into the end zone. Pass downfield is incomplete, throwing into double coverage. As the pass was intended for Marcus Nash, stops the clock with 42 seconds to go in the first half of a 17-7 game with Tennessee leading and threatening once more with second down and 10 to go at the East Carolina 11-yard line. Carolina getting another defensive back into the situation as Crumby has come on. A linebacker comes out, so they're going with a nickel package, so to speak, and Tennessee will send two wideouts right, one to the left side, the tight end Horn, a wing back on the near side. Manning against a four-man front. Tailback is Levine. There's the draw. Levine, left side, carries the ball straight ahead and nudges down to about the 6.5-yard line. A penalty marker is dropped at that point. Mark Levine really didn't have that much, Bill. He's very, very quick, not a big running back. Very quick, picked his hole, and was slowed, just nudged the ball forward. 33 seconds on the clock as Tennessee may use a timeout here. And a flag was thrown late. And we'll get the indication it's going to be against Tennessee.
After the play, personal foul. On the offense.
Against Tennessee, a 15-yard penalty. So two 15-yarders here playing an important role in the progress of this game, Bill, in the second quarter of the contest.
Yeah, it's a tough place to get them when you get down in there in scoring position and somebody after it's a dead ball foul, and that's uncalled for.
It will be third down and 21 yards to go for the Volunteers. After the play had moved it down right to the 6, as we mentioned, so ahead on 15, it brings it back out to the 21. And now the referee is visiting with Manning about the clock, would be my guess. 33 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock, and Tennessee is using its final timeout. East Carolina, over the years, has been coached by some people that certainly are familiar to Tennessee fans. In 1970, Mike McGee, now the athletic director at South Carolina, was the head coach. Sonny Randall, great professional player, coached from 71 to 73. Pat Dye, later to become head coach at Auburn from 74-79. Art Baker, now an administrator at South Carolina, was the coach from 85 to 88. Bill Lewis, who resigned last year as head coach at Georgia Tech, coach from 88 to 91, and he was succeeded by the present coach, Steve Logan. Well, the Vols, leading 17-7, had the ball at the 6-yard line with 33 seconds to go. And it would have been third down and right at 4 yards to go. Now it's third down and 21 yards to go. And this is Manning looking over a four-man front with two receivers to the right side, one to the left out of the shotgun. Manning waits, looks down into the end zone. The pass is going to be incomplete as it was intended to Joey Kent. But Kent pretty well contained by this excellent secondary. And so with fourth down and 21 yards to go, Jeff Hall, who has one field goal in the ballgame, will now come into the contest to attempt one that will be a bit longer. He will put his tee down at the 29. It will be a 39-yard attempt. The earlier field goal by Kent will check, as the earlier field goal was 37 yards. So this will be a 39-yard attempt by Jeff Hall out of the hold of Price. The kick by Hall is long enough. Is it straight enough? It is no good. Off to the left. And so with 22 seconds to go in the first half of the game, East Carolina goes right back on offense, trailing 17-7. Tennessee scored in its first possession, 8 minutes and 4 seconds, the length of the 87-yard, 18-play drive. Went up 7-0, then 10-0, then 17-0 after a pass interception. Set up a touchdown strike from Manning to Sylvan. Then East Carolina takes the ensuing kickoff and scores to make it 17-7. stops Tennessee in this drive, and it will be East Carolina lining up, maybe just to go in at halftime trailing by 10. He may go to a knee. We'll wait and see with 22 seconds to go. That's the situation. And so the first half is, I assume, history, as the clock is counting down inside 15 seconds. And the first half will come to a close with Tennessee leading the Pirates by a score of 17-7. A break for our stations. At halftime, the score, Tennessee 17, East Carolina 7.
Every sport has its great names, ones that will forever make you stop and remember the thrill of seeing them play. But sooner or later, the time comes when yesterday's names must make way for tomorrow's stars. For years, the great name in banking has been Third National Bank. And even though that familiar name will soon become SunTrust, the tradition of greatness is certain to go on. Because after all, Third National is a SunTrust bank. Member FDIC.
UT Falls fans with an appetite know Sagebrush Steakhouse is the best value going. From fillets so tender you can cut them with your fork, to our burgers, sandwiches, and salads, there's something for everyone at great family prices. The perfect stop before or after a Vols game is Sagebrush Steakhouse. There's a Sagebrush near you in Knoxville, on I-75 at Merchants Road, Oak Ridge, Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, Kingsport, and now open in Gatlinburg on Airport Road. Sagebrush Steakhouse, where steaks are a little taste of heaven.
Want to cut the cost of insuring your home? Then insure it with Grange and take advantage of Grange's many homeowner discounts. You'll enjoy special savings if your home is new, if it has smoke detectors or burglar alarms, or even if you simply don't have any losses. To find out how much you can save, talk with a Grange agent and make Grange your partner in protection.
Grange is your partner in protection.
By really listening to her Ford and Lincoln Mercury customers, Service Advisor Lisa Landry shortens repair time.
Because of the quality care standards, take care of a customer is more than just fixing a car. It's about listening, it's about communication, it's about getting the customer more involved. You have to let them know that you're committed. We want you to be a customer for life.
Try quality care at your Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealer.
For quality care, see Ted Russell Ford at 8551 Kingston Pike at Walker Springs, Knoxville.
Tennessee leads East Carolina 17-7. The ball scored first. Manning taking it on a sneak, culminating an 87-yard, 18-play drive. 7-0. Then Tennessee scored on a 37-yard field goal by Hall, 53 yards, 12 plays, and the Volunteers with 8:51 to go in the first half lead 10-0. Then it was Sylvan receiving a 31-yard pass from Manning for a touchdown, and it's Tennessee leading 17-0. Then with 4:42 to go in the first half, it's East Carolina, 67 yards, 11 plays. The touchdown coming on a pass of 7 yards from Crandall to Sellers. Tennessee possession 17-28 in the first half. East Carolina 12-32 as the Volunteers lead 17-7.
You're listening to college football's most complete coverage. University of Tennessee football with Bill Anderson, Randy Smith, Mike Keith, and the voice of the Vols, John Ward.
Sponsored by First Tennessee Bank. For all your financial needs, bank with the best in the field. First Tennessee Bank, here for you. By your local Farmers Co-op, celebrating 50 years of providing quality products for everyone. Go Co-op. By State Farm Insurance and the more than 400 State Farm agents in Tennessee who support volunteer football. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. By the natural gas utilities and pipeline companies in Tennessee.
Natural gas.
By your East Tennessee Ford dealers, where you'll find quality people, quality products throughout East Tennessee. By Texaco. Take it to the star for clean System 3 gasoline. And by Beechwood Aged Budweiser, the king of beer. This Bud's for you. Back in 30 seconds.
Tennessee football on WIVK-FM and News Talk Radio 990 is brought to you by your Chrysler Jeep Eagle dealers, by Coca-Cola, the Volunteer Toyota dealers, by Executone, by Ford Parts and Service, Grange Insurance, by Kroger, Sagebrush Steakhouse, by Pardon's Jewelers, and by Third National Bank, a SunTrust bank. It's Big Orange football on 107.7 WIVK-FM and News Talk Radio 990.
The score of the football game, Chelsea 17-7. The Pride of the Southland Band, commemorating 50 years since the end of World War II. An outstanding halftime presentation for just a moment. The music of the Colonel Bogey March. Next week, Tennessee plays Georgia. We'll have the broadcast of the game getting underway at 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central Standard Time.
A new baby is so small, but such a big responsibility. That's why so many families ask for a free State Farm family insurance checkup so they can learn more about life insurance. State Farm agents listen, explain, answer your questions. They offer good advice so you can make the right life insurance choices. It's a great experience for young parents, and the best part is the advice is free, and the decisions are yours. To learn more about life insurance for your family, call your State Farm agent.
Mr. Baker, our records show you've rescued the company from bankruptcy.
Yes.
Saved CEO Baker's life, and you're the godfather to all my children.
Yes,
Mr. Papoon.
No.
You set fire to my wife's wig at the company picnic.
Oh, yeah.
But you also eat your pizza the wrong way, crust first.
Yep.
Welcome aboard, son. You're our new partner.
No fair.
Stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut with a ring of cheese baked in the edge of a totally new, thinner crust. A large is just $9.99, first topping free, and now with free garlic dipping sauce. Available at participating restaurants.
Yes, indeed. This is your buddy Keith Jackson on hand for Eastman Chemical Company's effort to get UT fans to recycle their plastic drink cups after all the games. It's an amazing sight. Fans all over the stadium are collecting 10 cups each and heading for the Eastman Recycling Centers outside of Neyland Stadium. And when they get there, they'll score a Food City coupon for a free 32-ounce bottle of All Sport. It's the victory for Eastman, for the fans, and for the environment. Remember, good sports always recycle. Well,
Randy Smith back with you at the Big Orange scoreboard, where Tennessee leads East Carolina 17-7 at intermission. Also at halftime, Auburn is up over Ole Miss 20-10. Florida in the third quarter leads Houston 42-21. Also at halftime, Mississippi State leading Memphis 21-0. They're at halftime in the state of Kentucky, in the Bluegrass State, where Louisville and Kentucky are tied at 3-3. A couple of finals in the Southeastern Conference today. Texas A&M beat LSU 33-17, and Georgia over South Carolina 42-23. First quarter score, possibly an upset in the making. Vanderbilt always plays Alabama tough. The Commodores leading the Crimson Tide 7-0 in the first quarter play. UT Chattanooga at the half leading Charleston Southern 35-0, and Washington State and Pittsburgh tied 3-3 at the half. Some other scores: it's Florida State beating Duke today 70-26. A big upset as Northwestern knocked off number 9 Notre Dame 17-15 to start the college football season. And another mild upset, Purdue over number 23 West Virginia 26-24. Now let's head back to Neyland Stadium, and here with a look at the halftime stats is Mike Keith. Mike.
Thanks very much, Randy Smith. The halftime stats brought to you by JCPenney, where you can pick up the exciting third volume of the Best of the Big Orange Home Video Collector Series. Volume 3 spotlights the great ball running backs and is available for $19.99 in the Simply for Sports department at participating JCPenney stores. Tennessee leading East Carolina 17-7. Vols 15 first downs, ECU 9. Tennessee rushing 21 carries, 61 yards. That's less than 3 yards a rush. East Carolina 14 for 54. Passing, Tennessee 13 of 20 for 148. East Carolina 9 of 21 with 1 intercepted, 97 yards. Total offense, Tennessee 209, East Carolina 151. Interestingly enough, in the first half, we have not seen a punt. The Vols have returned 1 kickoff for 40 yards. East Carolina 2 for 50. Penalties, Tennessee 3 for 35. East Carolina 5 for 32. And Tennessee wins time of possession by nearly 5 minutes, 17-28 to 12-32. And all that amounts to a 10-point lead for the Big Orange at the half. Tennessee 17, East Carolina 7.
Friends, this is John Wood of the Ball Network. And for the next 26 seconds, speaking for the Volunteers at First Tennessee Bank. These friendly First Tennesseans want to help you reach your goals in life, whatever your goals may be, with student loans, installment loans, mortgages, and home equity lines of credit. So, if you need help to reach your goals, Remember the Volunteers at First Tennessee Bank. They're here for you. Member FDIC.
This is John Ward saying, stay in the green with 10 Lawn 21-812 fertilizer from your co-op. 10 Lawn 21-812 slow-release fertilizer is ideal for cool season types of grasses or as a general-use fertilizer. And because it is a slow-release fertilizer, your lawn stays green for a long time. No matter what type of lawn you might have, there's a 10 Lawn slow-release fertilizer to meet your needs. For all your growing needs, go Co-op.
Tennessee 17, East Carolina 7 at the half. Mike Keith back at Neyland Stadium. Individually for the Pirates, Jarius McPhail, 12 rushes, 54 yards. Marcus Crandall, 9 of 20 for 97 yards and a touchdown. He threw that pass to Sellers. He has 1 catch for 7 yards. Batson, 3 for 42. Nichols, 3 for 19 yards. For Tennessee, Jay Graham, 12 rushes, 40 yards. Mark Levine, 5 for 10. Peyton Manning passing 13 of 20, 148 yards and a touchdown. That pass went to Nilo Sylvan, who caught 2 for 44 yards. Jay Graham, 2 catches for 20 yards. Joey Kent, 3 for 19 yards. Again, it's Tennessee 17, East Carolina 7 at the half. It's halftime of tonight's game between the Vols and the Pirates. It's time for This Week in Big Orange Country. Brought to you from the pages of Volunteers magazine. Each home game Saturday, the College of Arts and Sciences presents their pregame showcase, highlighting one of their all-star faculty members. It's held 2 hours before kickoff at the UT Student Center and lasts about 30 minutes. Plenty of time for Vol fans to get to Neyland Stadium. Make the pregame showcase part of your Tennessee football game day experience. Moving along with our halftime programming, let's listen in on the first half scoring with the R.C. Cola calls of the half. Tennessee scored on their first possession, taking over 8 minutes to go 87 yards. Peyton Manning scores UT's first touchdown of the year from a yard out.
Tennessee in that same set, overloading to the right side with an extra offensive tackle. Graham, the standing tailback. Manning sneaking. Give him 6. Touchdown, Tennessee.
7-0 Tennessee after the first period. Tennessee got another first after a 52-yard drive. The Vols get their first field goal from redshirt freshman Jeff Hall. It was a 36-yarder.
Holding will be Price, snapping Ingram. Ball from the left hash mark toward the north end of the football field. 7-0 Tennessee. Hall will try it. The kick in the air by Jeff Hall. The kick by Jeff Hall is good.
On the game's next play, Deron Jenkins picks off a Pirate pass and returns into the East Carolina 31. 2 plays later, Peyton Manning gets Nilo Sylvan with a touchdown pass.
Kent right, I formation. Kent is the wide receiver to the right side, Sylvan to the left. I formation. This will be Graham faking. This will be also play action. Manning throwing into the end zone. Give him 6. Touchdown, Nilo Sylvan.
East Carolina scores on their next possession. Marcus Crandall hooked up with freshman Mike Sellers for big 6 points.
Man in motion to the near side. Back to throw. This will be downfield. It is caught at the 1-yard line. Into the end zone. Touchdown, East Carolina.
That's how the scoring wrapped up in the first half. Let's go down to the field now for the University of Tennessee alma mater. Performance by the Pride of the Southland Marching Band commemorating the 50th anniversary of the end of World War II. The UT Band joined by the Herald Trumpets from the United States Army Band. It's an exciting halftime show, and it's been an exciting half of football. At halftime, Tennessee leads East Carolina 17-7.
When it comes to truck leadership, there's only one word for it. Ford, with the best-selling full-size pickup, the F-150, the best-selling compact Ford Ranger, and the best-selling Ford Explorer. And now is the best time to save on these #1 selling trucks during your Tennessee Ford dealer's factory-authorized clearance sale. All trucks are clearance price. Plus, there's special low financing rates and low lease payments available. Also, you can save up to $2,900 on selected option packages. Now is the time to save during Ford's factory-authorized clearance sale at your Tennessee Ford dealer.
Loosen up your collar, snap up your style. Feels real good to wear your smile.
For selection and low prices on Levi's denim jeans, it's Goodies Family Clothing. You'll find all your favorite Levi's jeans at Goodies, including Levi Strauss Signature Series jeans, designed to fit a man comfortably. Only $29.99 at Goodies, your denim headquarters for selection and value.
Tennessee 17, East Carolina 7. This game is at the half. The Volunteers scoring 7 in the first quarter, 10 in the second. East Carolina tallying their only touchdown with just a couple of minutes remaining in the first half. Let's talk now with Bill Anderson about the first half. And it was a pretty interesting thing, Bill, because we all speculated that East Carolina would come out, put 8 guys in the box, make Tennessee throw it. On the first drive, they don't do that, and Tennessee's able to run the football down their throats with an 8-minute drive.
Well, it was a good drive. They took it in for the score there, Mike. I think Tennessee did some good things. And the passing, not only the running game early, and then they kind of shut that off. They started throwing the ball. They got 17 points on the board in the half, which is not bad. But they offensively, I didn't think they looked as sharp as they certainly would like to look. Either East Carolina has the best defensive halfbacks in America, or we're not getting anybody open down the field. And Manning, time after time, couldn't find anybody to throw the ball to. So something's wrong there, but I feel sure they'll work on that and get that straightened out.
Well, after the first drive, East Carolina took away Tennessee's chance to run the football. Manning made some good adjustments, and he made some big third down throws overall again. Manning 13 for 20, 148 with a touchdown pass.
Well, stats are not bad at all, but it could very well be a lot more than that is what I'm saying, and I don't think they executed as well as they would like to.
Tennessee offensively just 21 rushes for 61 yards, and that's got to be something that concerns offensive line coach Steve Marshall, I would say.
Yeah, I'm sure it does, because they couldn't get much running room in there, and they popped a few quick hitters, but other than that, East Carolina kind of pretty much shut the running game down.
Bill, East Carolina very impressive offensively. They end up with a 151 total yards, and you get a sense that they got on track with that last drive.
Well, yeah, that was a good drive. They took it down the field. They picked up some crucial first downs in that drive and kept the thing going and got it into the end zone. But they've got a big offensive line up there. It's tough to get to the quarterback, but defensively, I think Tennessee has played very well. They've gotten some good pressure on him. He's made some terrific throws. He has good receivers, and when you have that kind of people, you can get some points.
They are probably going to be able to rack up yardage, but Tennessee's got to continue to make the big play, just like the Deron Jenkins interception, don't they?
Yeah, well, that was, of course, a big play. They've made some pretty big plays. I felt like the defense played pretty well. I thought they played, better than I expected. I'll put it that way. The offense hasn't looked real sharp to me yet.
Tennessee leading 17-7 over East Carolina. And again, from that last Pirate drive, one gets the idea Tennessee needs to keep the scoring up.
You better keep it up. I would say that's right, Mike.
Second half going to look interesting from Tennessee's perspective, too, Bill. They played a ton of people in the first half, both offensively and defensively, and one wonders if that won't really begin to show in this game towards the end of the third quarter on into the fourth period.
I think it'll be a big factor.
Tennessee playing in the first half 11 different defensive linemen. The only true freshman at this point that I've seen in the ball game would have been Al Wilson. I don't know if there was another who had been in the contest to this point, but Wilson playing in Tennessee's 7 defensive back scheme that they had some luck with, and at times maybe not as much luck as they would like to have. Tennessee leading 17-7 over East Carolina. A pause for our stations. We're back in 1 minute.
Whenever U of T hits the gridiron, there's always a lot of excitement, no matter who they play. But when it comes to Toyota versus the competition, there's no contest. Toyota consistently beats its rivals in quality, dependability, and reliability with cars like the luxurious Camry, the economical Corolla, and the all-new Tercel. Toyota scores big in resale value, too. So see your volunteer Toyota dealer today. They'll go the whole 9 yards for you. That's the promise.
You don't have to wait for a sale to get the lowest prices at Pardon's Jewelers on North Broadway. Most often, the prices Pardon's offer are lower than the limited time sales at other stores. Ladies quarter-carat diamond dinner rings just $129. Full carat for $399. See Carl Pardon for quality jewelry she'll love at prices you'll love. Shop and save every day. Pardon's Jewelers, the source of fine jewelry, North Broadway, near I-640.
Tennessee again, 209 yards of total offense. East Carolina, 151. The Vols leading 17-7 over the Pirates. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Vol Radio Network.
This is WIVK AM Knoxville, News Talk Radio 990. Remember, you can talk sports with Mike Keith Monday afternoon at 5:30 on AM 990.
Tennessee won the opening coin toss, elected to defer till the second half, and so the Volunteers will be receiving. Here to call the second half for you once again, the voice of the Vols, John Ward.
Tennessee will receive, temperature 73 degrees. It's really just perfect for football. And the Volunteers will skip Nilo Sylvan deep to receive the kickoff, which will be made by Holcomb from East Carolina. The Vols will defend the south goal, and East Carolina, taking the wind, will defend the north goal to begin the third quarter. 17-7, the Volunteers lead. Next week, East Carolina plays at Syracuse. Next week, Tennessee here will host Georgia. Victor today in impressive style over South Carolina at Athens. Our broadcast next week gets underway at 5 o'clock. Here's the kickoff, relatively short. Will be pulled down. Well, nobody pulled it down. As Tennessee had an up back, get it into the end zone and down it. Thank you, sir. Tennessee's on the near side had a receiver in position, but he, I think, was assuming that Sylvan would come up and make the catch. He did not, and it was the freshman Al Wilson who then chased it down, Bill Anderson, and down the ball in the end zone.
That happened to me one time against Maryland.
I wasn't going to bring that up.
The tailback was supposed to come and get it. He didn't.
So it will be a touchback and a deep breath. A sigh of relief as Tennessee comes to the line. First down and 10 at the 20-yard line. Hand off, tailback. Jay Graham Hole, left side, has the ball 20, has the ball 25, and skitters to the 27.5-yard line, running behind Lehman again on the left side. A gain of right at 7.5 yards. For Tennessee, it's going to be second down and 2 yards to go. Whitehead made the tackle for East Carolina. For the Vols, Peyton Manning at quarterback has gone all the way. Jay Graham at tailback. Single running back on Tennessee, second down and short. Four-man front, East Carolina, ball on the left hash mark. Manning, Graham tries the corner, turns upfield 30, has the first down, breaks the tackle, and bangs to the 32.5-yard line before finally he's wrapped up and dropped by David Hart. So Tennessee comes out right, running to the left side of the line. Jason Lehman, 6'6", 287. Trey Peterson, 6'3", 270. Bubba Miller, 6'1", 285. Jeff Smith on the right side, 6'3", 304. Leslie Ratliff, 6'7", 282. Tennessee without a huddle to the line. Four-man front, East Carolina, first down for the Volunteers. This will be Horn, the wingback, moving from the left to the right for Tennessee to the wide side of the field. Tennessee again to Graham. Breaks a tackle. Graham 35. Graham 40. Graham lowers his head and bangs to the 41-yard line. Tackled there by David Hart again. But Tennessee working the left side time after time. A gain on the play of 9 yards.
They got some people to run behind over there, and they really opened up a pretty good hole there. But the quick hitter again to Graham has been the most effective. Straight away, straight shot, and he finds the crease in there. He did some nifty footwork on that one.
15 carries, 61 yards for Jay Graham. Manning, Graham this time to the right side, lost his footing, slips and falls to the line of scrimmage. That was Ronnie Pillow, not Graham. Jay Graham it was who carried the ball, and he got no yardage on the play. As we said, he sort of stumbled and falls, as that time Tennessee went with a little slower developing play. So now here it is, third down, still a yard and a half to go. Graham is the tailback. Two flankers left, two right. Manning's going to throw. Pass down and out is incomplete. A man headed for an instant, Marcus Nash, couldn't hold the ball, and so Tennessee, after coming out running right at East Carolina, faces fourth down and a couple. And so East Carolina, a good contingent of Pirate fans coming to Neyland Stadium for the game, and they are cheering as Tennessee will be in to attempt its first punt in the football game. And attempting his first is a volunteer, Larry Binion from Mesa, Arizona. Snap. Binion gets the punt away. High, long spiral. Under the ball at the 18-yard line. This will be Galloway, and he is buried as he gets to the 22. Change that nickel. A penalty marker is down. 42 yards, no return on the play. Well, actually, a return of about a yard. The score of the game, 17-7. As that was Binion connecting with it downfield. And we have a holding infraction on the receiving team, East Carolina. And so we'll wait and spot the ball for you exactly where it will be.
On the return, illegal block in the back by the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
Not a hold. Looks about like a hold. It was the illegal block which so happens so often on punt return. So East Carolina is backed up to its 12-yard line. It will be first down, 10 to go at the 12. The Pirates trailing 17-7. East Carolina scored last. It was 17-0 Tennessee. Crandall has the running back McPhail behind him against the four-man Tennessee front. This will be McPhail trying the middle, got maybe a yard. He was met and stopped by Leonard Little. In the front for Tennessee, Little, Burton, Green, and White. Linebackers, Kidd, King, and Gallion. Corners, Jenkins and Thayer. Safeties, Gaines and Austin. Gain on the play, right at 1 yard. Second down, 9. Tennessee has intercepted one pass in the football game. 2 plays later, scored its 17th point. Crandall looks over the four-man front. 2 flankers right, 1 left. Single running back, McPhail. Second down, the give will go to McPhail again on a little delay or draw. And he gets a yard or 2 short of the 15. He's nailed by Shane Burton. It will be third down upcoming. And right at, well, 7.5 yards to go. And so in comes the play in the person of Galloway, 5'10", 174 junior. The score is 17-7. Third down, 7. Carolina at its own 14-yard line. Tennessee brings the linebacker up on the line. Man in motion, Galloway coming to the near side. Crandall fades to throw. Crandall being pursued. Pass across the middle. Complete to Galloway. Galloway makes the catch at the 27-yard line. And the tackle was applied immediately by Jenkins. But Crandall had time, Bill, and was on target to Galloway.
Yeah, they didn't get much pressure on him that time. They were trying. Little was coming in there pretty good, but he got pushed to the outside, and Crandall kind of stepped up in there and just delivered the ball right on target. Good throw, good pattern.
8 of 10 on third down tries. East Carolina keeps the drive alive. Now they'll move that tight end back in as a blocking fullback on first down and 10 at the East Carolina 27-yard line. Pass across the left side is complete, pull down at the 29. Again, it's Galloway making the catch, and he circles the defender up past the 30 to the 35 and is shoved out of bounds in front of the Tennessee bench at the 35-yard line. It was for Tennessee defending Raymond Austin. But East Carolina, which was backed up deep in its own territory, third down, 7, connecting on the pass play that went for 12 yards. Now a pickup of right at 7.5. Single running back is McPhail. As Crandall looks over Tennessee's four-man front, this will be the handoff to McPhail has running room through the left side, slashes to the 40, and it's upended, but not until he gets the first down out to the East Carolina 43.5 yard line. Terry Fair makes the tackle on him, but East Carolina moves for its second successive first down in a 17-7 game with Tennessee leading. East Carolina now has seen McPhail carry the ball 15 times for 65 yards. That gain was good for 8 yards. East Carolina first down in its own territory at the 44-yard line. Crandall off play action, back to throw, looking across the middle. Penalty marker is down, could be a hold. Pass is complete to the 35. Down to the 30 is Galloway. He's shoved out of bounds as he gets to the Tennessee 21-yard line by Raymond Austin. All kinds of time for Crandall, and he picked up his receiver running that route across the secondary, but as we anticipated, I think it's going to be a holding infraction against East Carolina. The ball has been called for, and we'll get the indication from referee Goss as to the infraction.
Offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot. Repeat the down.
What a big break for the Vols there, John. I said that was huge. He went on the play action. Everybody went for the play action. I went for it myself. I thought it was a run inside. He kept the ball and just hit his man coming all the way across the field, right on target for big yardage. Somebody got called in there.
Holding 10 yards. It would have been at the Tennessee 21, first down. It is now at the Carolina 32, first and 14. East Carolina into an I formation with the blocking fullback there. Here's the play action. Across the middle. Pass is complete. As darting upfield to make the grab will be Derek Batson. And he makes the catch in sufficient. Well, he's knocked down as he gets to the 45-yard line by Raymond Austin. So that will leave it still right at, we'll say 8 yards short of the first down on second down upcoming. Second down and 8 yards to go. A moment ago, we gave you the incorrect yardage on first down reading the scoreboard. Now it is second down and 8. Tennessee adjusts into a 5-man front. Crandall picks it up. Single running back behind him. Crandall gives the ball to McPhail, who turns the corner and is shoved out of bounds short of the first down. But he got to the corner and runs past the 50 down to the Tennessee 48-yard line. Shoved out of bounds. He needed the 47 for the first by Terry Fair. But East Carolina mixing it up, and this offense still is creative, but also they execute very well.
Yeah, they do, and they've worked on the linebackers pretty good with their passing game. They try to get the backs into the passing game, which they've done very effectively. They start them one way and then bring them back against the grain a little bit and beat the linebackers inside.
Third down, a yard to go for East Carolina, trailing 17-7 near midfield. They need, as we said, the 47-yard line for the first in Tennessee territory. McPhail will try, and I think he might have gotten it, but it will be close. As McPhail takes the give and pounds over left guard. And as they align the ball, it's very, very close. A measurement may be required. Craig King at the bottom of the stack for Tennessee to make the tackle. This year, East Carolina will play at Syracuse next week. They're going to measure right now. Then it will be Central Michigan, at Illinois, West Virginia, at Cincinnati, Temple, at Southern Miss, a volunteer opponent as well, at Army, then closing the season against Tulsa and Memphis State. The chain is in, the chain is stretched, and it will be first down East Carolina. First down, now 9 of 11 on third down tries. East Carolina picks up the first down. It's 11th, make that 12th of the ball game. Tennessee defending, but East Carolina moving with the football, trailing 17-7 in the third quarter in Knoxville. And East Carolina comes to the line in a single back situation. They'll run a man in motion from left to right. Here's Crandall pumping, looking deep. Pass into the flat, pulled down by Nichols. Nichols can fly. Nichols makes the catch at the 47-yard line. Moves down to the 45 and is tackled as he gets to the 43 by Raymond Austin. People running all over the field, and it was Nichols who sort of hung back after the pump fake by Crandall. He looked deep, nobody was open, so he flipped the ball out to the near side, and Nichols picked up right at 3.5, 4 yards.
They really were running all over the field, John. They had those two wide outs out there, ran switch routes, and ran start inside, went back out, and the other one went the other way, and they had them confused back there in the secondary, but they threw the short man.
Once again, this is East Carolina to the line against Tennessee's 4-man front. Back to throw. This will be Crandall throwing the ball deep downfield. The man is there. The pass is incomplete. It was intended again for big 6'6" Larry Shannon. Had his hands on the ball, but having his hands on Shannon was Corey Gaines. And taking a lick just as he released the pass was Crandall. but it was beautifully thrown.
It really was. I thought it was touchdown, too. He had that ball for a minute, looked like, but I think the Gaines must have stripped him of it because the ball was right in there.
It will be third down, 7 yards to go for East Carolina, trailing 17-7, but East Carolina, which scored last late in the second quarter, has taken the play away. Third down play. They're 9 of 11 on third. This will be Nichols. Man in motion. Back to throw Crandall. Here's across the middle. Pass pulled down by Nichols, and Nichols breaks free, circles, tries to pick up the first down. The forward progress is marked short of the first down as Nichols makes the catch, and Deron Jenkins battled him one-on-one to make the tackle, but he twists and turns to within a yard of the first. Fourth down and a yard to go. And undoubtedly, East Carolina will go for the first. They shuttle players in and out, bringing in another tight end, as it will be fourth down, a yard. Tennessee leads 17-7. East Carolina with the ball. I formation. Now they shift the tight end up to the left side into the boundary. Crandall looks over Tennessee's three-man front. Crandall back to throw. Pass down and out, complete. First down. Carries the ball to the Tennessee 30-yard line and then is shoved out of bounds. It was Sellers who makes the catch, and what happened? It is ruled that he was out of bounds when he made the catch. Incomplete. He had the ball, Bill. Obviously, he must have been out of bounds or was juggling it.
Well, something. It looked like a catch from here, John, and I think Carolina is a little bit upset about that one, but he must have juggled it or dropped it over there or something because it looked like a catch from here.
Well, it wasn't. And it's Tennessee holding Carolina, and the Volunteers have the ball. First down and 10 to go. The fourth down try, close, but not enough. Manning, play action fake, looking deep for the long pass downfield. Incomplete. Intended for Joey Kent all the way down at the 20-yard line of East Carolina. 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Ball Network.
This is WIVK AM Knoxville, the station devoted exclusively to reporting the latest news, sports, weather, and traffic 24 hours a day.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Tennessee with the ball. Kent broke free, pass slightly overthrown. So here's Tennessee second down and 10. I formation. East Carolina dancing around now, feigning the blitz from the left side. Manning, handoff with the ball. Hole opens up. Through the right side of the line comes Jay Graham. He starts at the 38, to the 40, to the 45-yard line. Tackled as he gets there on a draw by B.J. Crane. The ball's 2 yards short of the first down. It will be third down, 2.5 yards to go. 17-7. The second possession for Tennessee in the second half of the game. The earlier possession pretty well thwarted with a 15-yard penalty against the ball and a missed field goal. Here it is, third down, 2.5 yards to go. Graham is the tailback. Four-man front East Carolina, ball at the right hash mark. 4 receivers for Tennessee. Manning looking for one of them. Doesn't find him. There's a penalty marker. Had to be. The pass was deflected and intercepted, but there was a penalty marker down as the intended receiver, Kent, was tackled before the ball got there. And so the officials are discussing it. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 flags, Bill. Not much doubt about that one.
No, and wasn't much doubt about it. We could see that one, John. I mean, he was beat to the inside. The pass was coming to him, so he just tackled him.
And so there will be a penalty upcoming against East Carolina. And let's see what the ruling is going to be.
Pass interference on the defense. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
The pass was intercepted. That's the 8th penalty, 62 yards against the Pirates. And the East Carolina coaching staff is out visiting with the officials, a bit perturbed. Tennessee has it first down and 10 to go. Manning looks it over. Single running back behind him. Ronnie Pillow into the game as a slot man for Tennessee to the right side. Handoff goes with the ball, Jay Graham. Graham has running room. Graham has the ball to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, down to the 31-yard line. Goes Jay Graham on a quick opener right up the middle, tackled by Foreman, but it's Graham finding the hole behind Miller and Peterson this time. And the Volunteers, after a bit of I'm sure, a letdown on the part of East Carolina, Bill Anderson. A 15-yard pickup by Graham.
Well, it had to be a little bit, I think, but nevertheless, obviously a holding call there, but it made a big turnaround, I guess, as far as not getting the interception.
Tennessee, first down and 10 to go, leading 17-7. The ball resting at the 32-yard line of East Carolina. Penalty markers fly, as Tennessee did not get the play off in time, and it's going to be at a delay of game penalty. Coach Philip Fulmer's teams have won 77% of their games, placing Fulmer in his third-plus year, third on the all-time list as far as percentage of Tennessee coaches. In 4 years, John Barnhill's teams won 85%. In 21 years, R.R. Nealand, 83%. Tennessee first down and 15. Penalties, a thorn on both sides. Two receivers right, two left. Four-man front East Carolina. Manning looks, throws to the near side. It's deflected by the on-rushing lineman, Aaron Black, at 6'4", 255. Batted down, and so Tennessee will face second down and 15 yards to go. To this point, Manning is 13 of 23 for 148 yards. And East Carolina's Crandall is 14 of 28 for 135 yards. Crandall in this half, however, is 5 of 7 for 38. Second down, long, Tennessee. Manning looks across the middle. Pass is... Did he catch it? We'll wait and see. Complete if Nash held on to the ball, which he did. Excellent catch. The pass thrown like a dart slightly behind him, but Marcus Nash was able to retain possession as he twists down on the field. Spots the ball at the 27-yard line. Tennessee needs to get the ball to the 22. It's third down and 5. Two wide right, two wide left. Single running back, four-man front. Linebackers drop. They could be blitzing. Here they come. Manning throws to the near side, complete. 20, down to the 15. Shoved out of bounds as he gets to the 14-yard line is Marcus Nash. Emmanuel McDaniel makes the tackle, but Tennessee's Manning spelled the blitz, flipped the ball quickly, and one-on-oneing, it's Nash who dashes for the first down.
He hit the man in the slot. That was a good call. If it was automatic, probably an automatic when the blitz is coming, because no, they had nobody to cover Nash in the flat.
Tennessee first down at 10, 4:48 to go in the third quarter of the game. The Vols lead 17-7. Spot the ball at the 14-yard line of East Carolina on the left hash mark. Two wides right, two left. Single running back. Manning looks to throw. Pass downfield, complete at the 10. Pull down, that's Ronnie Pillow, I believe, who makes the catch and moves it for a yard or two beyond the catch. So mark the ball at the 9. Pick up of 5. Second and 5 to go for the first down. 9 to go for a touchdown. David Crumby made the tackle. Tennessee has used as wide receivers thus far Kent, Nash, Schuler, Sylvan Staley, Pillow. I'm not sure Kyler has played. Kyler has played. Second and 5. Tennessee leading by 10. Here's the all-out blitz. Tennessee with Graham. Hurdles one man, runs through another man, twists and turns and fights and battles all the way to the 1-yard line. That was Jay Graham as they came with that all-out blitz. Everybody came. And it was Graham who then carries through the right side of the line, is hit and finally tackled as he gets just a yard shy of the goal line. There could have been a juggled ball at that point because East Carolina says we had the ball, but the officials have indicated that Tennessee has the ball. Bill?
Well, they caught him in the all-out blitz, just split him there, got a little crease in it. Once they popped the line of scrimmage, he almost took it very close into the end zone.
Tennessee, first down and goal, a football length away earlier. Peyton Manning sneaked it in to score. Let's see what happens as Tennessee has it first down and goal. Fullback dives. Yes! Touchdown, Eric Lane. The Volunteers march downfield to score to build the advantage to 23-7. As Peyton Manning, engineering the drive, hit on key passes to Nash, to Pillow, to Nash again. Then it was Graham against the all-out blitz, going for 8 yards, inches shy of the goal line. And after 62 yards and 9 plays, in to attempt the extra point will be Tennessee's freshman Jeff Hall. The kick is up by Hall, and this one by Hall is good. There's timeout on the field for the score. Tennessee 24, East Carolina 7.
Although the thermometer's still climbing, there's still nothing hotter this summer than the deals during Jeep Summer Days, now held over, where you can still get red-hot values on every Jeep vehicle in stock, including the award-winning Jeep Grand Cherokee, classic Jeep Cherokee, and legendary Jeep Wrangler. But you better hurry into Jeep Summer Days, because deals this incredibly hot are bound to cool down fast. Jeep is a registered trademark of Chrysler Corporation.
See your local Jeep and Eagle dealer today.
Know what you get when you insure both your car and your home with Grange Insurance? Big savings. That's right. With Grange's Auto Home Discount, you can save money on both policies. And you may qualify for discounts on boats and other personal property. Of course, you'll also get dependable Grange protection. To find out more, talk with a Grange Insurance agent today.
Grange is your partner in protection.
Tennessee leads 24-7. 3:41 to go in the third quarter of the game in Knoxville. This is John Wood and Bill Anderson sending you the play-by-play as Jeff Hall will kick off for Tennessee. East Carolina has deep to receive Galloway. As here's the kick. High, end over ending to the near side at the 5. Galloway to the 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, he is belted at the 25-yard line. And it was Sean Summers, the Oak Ridge senior, who was there to make the tackle on him. Big possession, Bill Anderson, for East Carolina right now. They have really performed well, offensively and, for the most part, defensively. But now it's 3:35 to go in the third.
Yeah, they need to take this and get some points on the board out of this next drive. If they lose it and have to turn it back over to Tennessee, the bottom could fall out on them.
East Carolina to the line. Crandall at quarterback, a junior from Robertsville, North Carolina. He's going to check off against Tennessee, playing with a 4-3 defense, widening a linebacker, Gallion, a bit wider. Back to throw, Crandall down, pass almost intercepted by Tennessee, who read that play absolutely perfectly. Austin had the play called, Bill. He broke on the ball, leaped as it was intended for Batson, but Batson had no prayer. And after almost intercepting the ball, Austin deflected it, and Tennessee had another player coming in the right side, Terry Fair, almost in position for the interception.
That play had no chance. They had it read all the way, John.
Second down, 10. East Carolina has had one pass intercepted in the game, and Tennessee converted that into the second touchdown. It's now 24-7. As Carolina comes to the line, the Volunteers are asking for a timeout. Timeout on the field, a break for our Vol Network stations as we tell you with timeout the score, Tennessee 24, East Carolina 7.
As long as there is thirst, there's always the real thing. Coca-Cola Classic is always the one. Whenever there is fun, there's always Coca-Cola. Yeah. Coca-Cola. Always Coca-Cola.
You rush to work, you eat fast food, you drive through the bank. Face it, you're living in a fast lane. That's why Neil Sandler Ford Lincoln Mercury offers Motorcraft Fast Lube using only Motorcraft quality parts. Bring your Ford, Mercury, or Lincoln into Neil Sandler and get an oil change and 12-point check in 29 minutes or less for only $21.95. Motorcraft Fast Lube, Motorcraft quality. For quality care, come to Neil Sandler Ford Lincoln Mercury on the Airport Motor Mile, where the quality continues.
It will be East Carolina with the ball. Second down, some 10 yards to go. Crandall back to throw, looking. Here's the pass upfield. Complete. Pulled down by DeBrew at the 35. To the 40, moves forward to the 43-yard line. And East Carolina will have it at that point. First down and 10 to go. Mark it actually at the 44-yard line. Deron Jenkins made the tackle on him, but East Carolina again running very, very creative routes. First down. Tennessee leading, but East Carolina again moving with the ball. Single back is McPhail against Tennessee's four-man front. This will be McPhail cutting to the near side, breaks through one tackle, has the ball to the 47, vaults and dives past midfield down to the Tennessee 48. Deron Jenkins will get credit for the tackle, but with a quick opener through the right side on the blocking of Booth and Gray, East Carolina has moved to the Tennessee 48. Second down, right at 3 yards to go. They need the 45 for the first. 24-7 Tennessee leading. Crandall brings his team up there. Very excellent quarterback. 2 receivers to the left side. 2nd down and 3. Running back McPhail. Tennessee looking like a blitz, but instead the give is to McPhail, and McPhail comes to the near sideline. And McPhail has running room to the 45, to the 40, down to the 35. He's shoved out of bounds as he gets to the Tennessee 35-yard line by Corey Gaines, and that will be another 1st down and 10 to go for East Carolina. So, Bill, we mentioned that East Carolina needed to do something with the football on this possession. They've done quite well indeed.
Haven't got it in the end zone yet, but they're certainly making progress in that direction. This is a good drive they're putting together.
McPhail, 19 carries, 98 yards. Tennessee's Jay Graham, 19 carries, 92 yards to this point in the football game. It's 1st down, East Carolina at the 35-yard line. Tennessee up 24-7. Crandall, McPhail to the near side, and McPhail is somersaulted down at the 31-yard line. This time it's Deron Jenkins again coming up to make the tackle on him. The wide receivers for East Carolina, Big Shannon, Larry Shannon, Troy Smith has played. Mitchell Galloway, Linwood DeBrew, Derek Batson, Jason Nichols, and Mike Sellers, and they rotate them as Tennessee has an injured player on this play. The Vols next week play Georgia here with our broadcast at 5 o'clock Eastern. Then at Florida, Mississippi State comes to Knoxville on the 23rd. Oklahoma State plays Tennessee here, the homecoming game on September 30. On October 7, Tennessee plays at Arkansas. On October 14 at Alabama. The open date comes on October 21, followed by South Carolina coming to Knoxville. Another open date, Southern Mississippi at Kentucky, Vanderbilt to conclude the regular season. Tennessee with the injured player, who will be Steve White, and he is limping to the far sideline. Behind him for Tennessee's defensive ends, Jonathan Brown, the 6'4", 245 sophomore, as White laboring to the far sideline. It will be 2nd down and 5.5, 6 yards to go for East Carolina at the Tennessee 31-yard line. Carolina to the line. Crandall, dangerous thrower. Thus far in the game, 14 of 29. Tennessee dancing around, and as Tennessee violates the neutral zone, Crandall takes the ball and goes down to one knee. And probably sets up a 5-yard assessment against Tennessee. Good quarterback, Bill Anderson.
He is. He's done an excellent job. And I tell you, he's got a good arm, and he moves around there. He's had a lot of pressure. He's made some key throws. So they've got a very impressive passing game. Good receivers, too.
There's the penalty against Tennessee. It will be a 5-yard step-off. And it's going to lead it at 2nd. Move the chain. There he will. It's going to be 2nd down and a yard to go. Could be a waist down. Where's Galloway? Galloway is sliding to the left side inside of Larry Shannon. Tennessee has a double on one of them over that way as Crandall is looking over Tennessee's 4-man front. McPhail on play action. Back to throw. Sack. Tennessee smelled it all the way. Leonard Little came after him, as indeed they were going, Bill, for either Shannon or Galloway, and Tennessee came with Leonard Little on the sack.
He just came right in there too quick. He was all over him before he had a chance to set up.
So the ball after the sack back to the 33-yard line, and that's the first sack for Tennessee in the game, -7. So now it's 3rd down and 8. Big play, Leonard Little. Now, big play opportunity for East Carolina at the Tennessee 33, 3rd down long. Back to throw. This is Crandall. Pass downfield is going to be out of bounds. Tennessee had the intended receiver doubled, and Tennessee had 2 players on the passer, Crandall. Crunching him from the far side was a limping Steve White, who's returned to the game. And on the near side, I think it might have been Shane Burton. Anyway, it's 4th down. East Carolina with 45 seconds in the 3rd quarter, trailing 24-7. 4th and 8 at the Tennessee 33. Earlier, East Carolina missed on a 4th down try with a juggled pass across the way. I thought it was caught. Now here it is, 4th down long. Crandall rolling left, looking back across the middle. Pass is pulled down here by McPhail. Bingo! He is dropped short of the 1st down. Well played by Tennessee's Deron Jenkins as they sent the flowed the play all the way to the left, and Crandall went rolling out that way, suddenly pirouetted and tossed the ball back to the right side. But Tennessee's Jenkins stayed at home and made the tackle far short of the first down. So once more, Tennessee's defense stopped East Carolina.
That was a good job. They stayed in position, didn't get fooled. Everybody went to the left. They tried to come back on the misdirection. They stayed there and made the play.
Tennessee first down, 36 seconds in the third quarter. The ball is leading 24-7. Manning sees a change in the Carolina defense. It became a 5-man front. Now it's going to be a 4-man front. Manning steps up, throws across the middle. It is incomplete, barely. Almost intercepted. He had that ball. Matt Semenza had the interception, and then Maurice Staley just out-battled him, Bill, and swept it away from him.
That's a good job. Well, of course, the receivers, that's what they need to do, and they're taught to do. When they can't make the play themselves, make sure nobody else does. But that was really a dangerous throw there.
Manning felt a little pressure that time, and the pass was not well thrown at all. Anyway, it's second down at 10. Tennessee leading 24-7. Manning now straight drop, looking across the middle. Will run instead. Manning 35, Manning 40. Manning steps out of bounds, then gets shoved. Will there be a flag? I don't think there should be. Anyway, he gets the first down as he gets to the 45-yard line. Peyton Manning was knocked out of bounds by Crumby, and he picks up a first down. Well, wait till they spot the ball. It looks to me to be a first down, and it is going to be observed by the referee, who says first down is said to go Tennessee, as it just opened wide open for Manning, Bill Anderson, and he comes forward for an 11-yard gain.
He did the right thing. Took it enough for the first down, got out of bounds. And that's, of course, the fans a little bit upset there because he took just a little bump. But, you know, this is a contact sport.
It will be Manning at quarterback for Tennessee on 1st and 10. Handoff tailback juggled by Graham. Then he reaches up, pulls it back. Graham with the ball to the 45, to the 50, down to the 48-yard line. He's tackled as he gets there by Semenza. But as the handoff was made, it actually left his hand. He reached up in the air and pulled it back down. And that little break in tempo enabled him to gain as the third quarter nears its completion. And that will be the end of the third quarter. A break for our Vol Network stations as we tell you the score at the end of 3. Tennessee 24, East Carolina 7.
Beautiful, fine quality jewelry at affordable prices and a reputation that's unmatched in the Knoxville area. That's Pardon's Jewelers, North Broadway near I-640. What's new at Pardon? Sunflower jewelry. All new sunflower rings are just $39.95. Sunflower earrings, $49.95. Matching bracelets, $152. Ever notice when there's something new in jewelry? Pardon's always has it first. Be the first to show off your unique sunflower jewelry from Pardon's, the source of fine jewelry on North Broadway near I-640.
Every sport has its great names, ones that will forever make you stop and remember the thrill of seeing them play. But sooner or later, the time comes when yesterday's names must make way for tomorrow's stars. For years, the great name in banking has been Third National Bank. And even though that familiar name will soon become SunTrust, the tradition of greatness is certain to go on. Because after all, Third National is a SunTrust bank. Member FDIC.
The fourth quarter is set to get underway in Knoxville. This is John Ward and Bill Anderson sending you the play-by-play on the Vol Radio Network. Tennessee leads 24-7. The Vols in the third quarter had possession 6:22. East Carolina 8:38. At the conclusion of today's game, we'll select the Magnavox Smart Player of the Game. Magnavox will make a $500 donation to the Volunteer Athletic Scholarship Fund on behalf of the Tennessee player selected. Magnavox Smart, very smart. Tennessee with the ball, and the give this time goes to Jay Graham. And Graham comes pounding through the left side of the line on what was second down and 3. He gets 2 of the 3, making it third down and a yard to go. Libiano was there on the tackle. Tennessee's Jay Graham, a junior from Kannapolis, North Carolina, who gained a total of 275 yards last year and 61 carries, now has gone over the century mark. 21 carries, 101 yards for Graham in the game. Here's East Carolina into a 6, 7, 8-man line, and Tennessee runs the fullback and simply was not there. As Eric Lane carries the ball into that goal line-like defense, and Walter Scott was at the bottom of the stack, but there were a lot of people helping out, and so Tennessee's going to have it fourth down and about a yard to go. And so here comes Binion into the game. The fans would prefer, I think, Tennessee to go for a first down until they try it, didn't make it. So it's got to be fourth. In the third quarter, each team had a total of 98 yards total offense. Binion, who earlier punted for 42 yards, is in to punt against the 10-man rush. Snap, they're coming after him. Binion gets it away, wobbly spiral, under the ball, asking for it and making a fair catch and fumbling the ball and scrambling after the loose ball at the 14-yard line. There's still a battle for it. I think East Carolina is going to come out of there protecting possession, as a lot of balls were there. After the 34-yard punt was taken on the fair catch by Nichols, then he juggled it, momentarily appeared to have it safely recovered, then the ball squirmed free again, and there was a real battle royale for it. And finally, the official on top of the play indicates that indeed it will be East Carolina. First down and 10 to go, and spotted as the recovery was made, at the 14-yard line. Nichols, the man who fumbled, was the man who recovered. So here's East Carolina. As before the play gets underway, the East Carolina, somebody asked for a timeout. So with timeout, we'll take a break again by saying the score with 13:49 to go. Tennessee 24, East Carolina 7.
UT Vols fans with an appetite know Sagebrush Steakhouse is the best value going. From fillets so tender you can cut them with your fork to our burgers, sandwiches, and salads, there's something for everyone at great family prices. The perfect stop before or after a Vols game is Sagebrush Steakhouse. There's a Sagebrush near you in Knoxville, on I-75 at Merchants Road, Oak Ridge, Pigeon Forge, Sevierville, Kingsport, and now open in Gatlinburg on Airport Road. Sagebrush Steakhouse, where steaks are a little taste of heaven.
Year after year, Tennessee football promises to be tough and competitive. He's at the 5. Touchdown! The same traits you find in rugged Toyota trucks, like the big, bold T100 and the all-new Tacoma. Built in the U.S., these trucks have some of the highest resale values around. Just like Tennessee, Toyota trucks have the heart and soul of a winner. And just like Tennessee, they're every inch a champion. See the T100 and Tacoma at your volunteer Toyota dealers today.
East Carolina will hand the ball first down and 10 to go as the fourth quarter continues. And the give on the first down play is to McPhail. And Jarris McPhail grinds from his 14 out to the 16-yard line. A gain of 2 yards on the play. Scott Gallion, the senior from Seymour, Tennessee, makes the tackle. Second down, 8. Tennessee 24-7. 95,000 plus on hand, many of them shouting defense, particularly those in the south end of the field where the ball currently is placed. Crandall goes into a shotgun set, flanked by two compatriots. As Crandall comes to the left side, throws upfield, it is complete to the 20-yard line. And the man who makes the catch will be 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards short of the first down, the man being Mitchell Galloway. He was tackled by Terry Fair. Galloway now in the football game, getting his second reception. The score is 24-7. The down, third. The yardage, 2. The time, 12:39 to go in the game. East Carolina to this point has done quite well. 9 of 13. They come with 3 wide receivers to the right side. Single running back. Man in motion back into the boundary is Galloway. Back to throw. Pass downfield. Complete for the first down to Nichols. Breaks away from one tackler and then is shuttled out of bounds as he gets to the 32-yard line by Anthony Hampton. Nichols makes the catch and Nichols makes the first down. And it will be for East Carolina trailing 24-7. First down and 10 to go at the 32-yard line of the Volunteers. East Carolina wearing white with purple numerals. Their colors purple and gold. The Pirates to the line. First and 10 at the 32. Quick count handoff. Ben goes to McPhail, and McPhail is dropped behind the line by the on-rushing Leonard Little. Sophomore Asheville, North Carolina got in the flow, and once there, Bill makes the stop for a loss on the play.
Yeah, he's been taking the outside route out there, on keeping the containment that time. The defensive excuse me, the offense is tied in trying to block him, hook him inside. There's no way, and he just shut it down.
So it's got to be second down and 12, but East Carolina, ever dangerous, a very diversified type offensive scheme. Up under the center comes Crandall. 3 wideouts to the near side. Misdirection play coming to the near side. Crandall throws. It is complete. Pulled down by Mike Sellers, number 85 at the 43-yard line. He's twisted down at the 45 for another first down by Terry Fair. They flooded the left side with 3 receivers, and the wide one was Sellers, who then comes back slightly to the interior and comes open to make the catch. So, East Carolina first down at the 45-yard line, trailing 24-7. Once again, Crandall, Tennessee might have jumped in as there was movement on the right side. Crandall asked for and got the snap, went down to one knee, hoping to catch Tennessee in the neutral zone on the right side, as the defensive right end did in fact move, and here's the penalty. 5 yards against Tennessee.
5-yard penalty, first down.
That's the second or third time that has occurred in the football game. As Crandall, a very heady quarterback, and a very athletic one as well. Keep in mind, this team scored 56 points at South Carolina last year. First down, 5, East Carolina, just past midfield stripe. Crandall looks it over. Tennessee feigning the blitz from the left side. Could be a corner blitz, is not. Handoff instead goes to McPhail, and McPhail up the middle's got a first down as he runs through the right side of the line, past the 45, all the way down to the 42-yard line, where he's tackled by Ron Green, the 6'1", 265-pound freshman. McPhail should have gone over 100 yards now, as earlier Jay Graham moved past the century mark, and right now 23 carries, 111 yards for Jarris McPhail. First down, 10, East Carolina moving with the ball. 10:38 to go in the game. It's a 17-point game with Tennessee leading. Crandall with time. Looking, pass to the near side is caught. Then there's a juggled fumble. There's a scramble for the football, and I think the receiver might have retained it, or did he? We'll wait and see. As the pass was caught by McPhail, the ball was yanked free and is recovered. Wait for the signal. Tennessee says it has the ball, but the referee has not yet indicated. Terry Fair was the man who was there, who makes the tackle, who brings the ball free, and they're still talking about it. As yet, no signal from the referee. And the 2 players, McPhail and Fair, both say we had the ball, and they will not give ground at all. McPhail finally gets up. Now Fair gets up, and who's got the ball? The referee still has not said anything. Well, the ball has been recovered by Terry Fair. Tennessee did recover it. And as yet, the referee has not said anything. Anyway, Tennessee's got the ball. First down, 10, Tennessee at the 45-yard line. Quarterback is Manning. Second turnover for Carolina. Give will go to the tailback. Big hole right side. Rambling through, carrying the football. This is Jay Graham to the 50, to the 45, to the 40. Down to the 36-yard line comes Tennessee's Jay Graham. Again, a quick opening play, this time over the right side behind Smith and Ratliff. And it's Jay Graham who comes charging ahead and pounds his way for a sizable gain on the play and a first down for the Volunteers at the 36-yard line. 22 carries, 120 yards. That one, Bill Anderson, his longest of the game, 19.
Yeah, it was a good run up there, and you can tell East Carolina's beginning to wear down a little bit now, John. I think they've lost a little bit of their steam. Tennessee's starting to wear them down. They're not moving around as quickly out there.
It will be Tennessee with the football as the injured player, David Hart, is being helped to the near sideline. Does not appear to be a serious injury. And so in all probability, Hart, whose twin, Darren Hart, is also in that secondary, is on the near sideline. Tennessee with the ball. It's first down and 10, and as the play gets uncranked, flags fly. Could have been movement on the right side. To this point, Crandall is 11 of 15 in the second half for 83 yards, and Manning 3 of 6 for 27. Tennessee guilty of illegal procedure. This will be the third time in the game to this point that Tennessee has received a 5-yard infraction penalty on first down. So it's first down and 15. The Vols lead 24-7 inside 10 minutes to go in the football game. I formation. Tight end, wing back becomes a man in motion to the near side. Play action. Manning looking deep. Here's the long pass down into the end zone for Joey Kent. Incomplete, overthrown. It will be second down and 15. As Kent tight-roping the near sideline, the pass simply was too far, and Hank Cooper was defending from his cornerback position. For the first time since way back in the mid-70s, Tennessee has named or elected its captains before the season. In the past, the captains have been chosen near the end of the year. The captains are Scott Gallion, Bubba Miller, Nilo Sylvan, Jason Lehman. Tennessee, second down and 15, leading 24-7. Here's Horn again in motion. The give goes to Jay Graham. Graham comes ripping through the right side of the line. From the 41 to the 40 to the 35, moves it down to the 33-yard line where B.J. Crane makes the tackle. Third down upcoming for Tennessee. Still sizable yardage to go for the first as the Vols need to get the ball to the 26. And that will be right at, 7 yards. Third down and 7. Sylvan and Nash go left. Pillow and to the near side will be Staley. Single running back Graham could be. Here they're feigning the blitz. Here it comes. Manning picks it up, moves forward, is going to run with the football, comes to the near side, lowers his head and charges for the first down. Well, before the season we visited, he said, if it's going to be third down and I have to make the first, I'm going to run the ball. That time it was third down. He needed to run the football, and he made the first, Bill Anderson.
Yeah, he pulled it down, got out of there, John, and did pick up the first down. That was a good run, but he was looking for a place to get down there as quick as he could, and fortunately he made it far enough to get the first down.
Peyton Manning now has carried for 11 and now for 9 yards here in the second half, as obviously East Carolina, not necessarily, but really daring him to run with the ball as they're dropping back. As they've done an outstanding job covering Tennessee's secondary. Handoff Jay Graham. Jay Graham goes through the left side of the line, got running room. Graham has the ball at the 30, to the 25, to the 20, down to the 15. Graham all the way to the 11-yard line before Libiano was able to make the tackle on him, but Tennessee's just taking charge in the offensive line with Lehman and Peterson and Miller and Smith and Ratlin. Poole has played, other people as well, but right now Tennessee will have it first down and 10 at the 12, leading 24-7 with 8:13 to go in the football game. Jay Graham, as Tennessee goes into an I formation, they've got a fullback in there in the person of Eric Lane. This is Graham following Lane through the left side. This is Graham as a penalty marker is thrown. Graham has the ball at the 10, down to the 5, and moves very close to a first down, but my guess is there's going to be a hold on Tennessee, as Cooper was there to make the tackle for East Carolina. 7:46 to go in a 24-7 game. And Jay Graham behind the massive front wall of Tennessee, really taking charge, but it's holding against Tennessee. And so a penalty will be stepped off, not only nullifying a 9-yard pickup, moving the ball inside the 5, but moves the ball back to the 20-yard line, where Tennessee will be faced with first down and 18 yards to go for the first. And Bill Anderson, Tennessee has now been penalized 3 times inside the opponent's 10-yard line in this game. The ball's to the line, sending a man in motion right to left. This will be Graham again following behind that tight end blocking as he comes slamming through the left side, starting from the 20 and moving down to the 17, where Libiano again is there on the tackle. 7:14 to go, and the clock is counting with the score 24-7. And the Volunteers have the ball at the 17-yard line, needing to get it to the 2 for the first down. Second down and 15 yards to go. Joey Kent is wide to the left. Nilo Sylvan is wide to the right. He was the touchdown scorer moments ago. Here is Manning looking down into the end zone. Looks, will carry the football and will be knocked out of bounds as he moves it down to the 12-yard line by Semenza. So the strategy is obvious, Bill Anderson. They're going to give him the run, and they're backing up and covering everybody, and more or less, as we said, daring him to run.
Well, I think that's probably true, John. On the other side of the coin, they had everybody covered down there. He's got nobody. All the patterns were going to the outside, and everybody just quit on him. Looked like when they run out of field, nobody came against the grain to get open, to give him anybody to throw to.
For Tennessee, third down and 11, leading 24-7. As Manning was tackled when he got the ball down to the 13-yard line. Manning Pass to the far sideline is caught by Nash, but far short of the first at the 10. It's now a 17-point game. And here comes Hall in to attempt the field goal as Tennessee will have it. 4th down and 8 to go for the first down, 10 to go for a touchdown. This will be a 27-yard field goal try from the left hash mark toward the south end of the football field. 6:14 and the clock is counting. As snapping will be Ingram. Price will be holding. Hall 1 for 2 in field goals is now 2 for 3. Good!
It can get pretty cold in Tennessee, and the most comfortable heat for Tennesseans is natural gas. The air from a gas furnace is 40 degrees warmer than the air from an electric heat pump, and a natural gas furnace costs up to 30% less to operate than an electric heat pump. So if you're unhappy with the cold air circulated by your electric heating and want to save on your utility bills, call your gas heating contractor and ask for natural gas. Remember, be safe. Call before you dig. Tennessee One Call.
What you might say if I called you on your phone today. Just wondering what you might do if I could walk right up and say this much for you. Just wondering what you might do if I could walk right up and say this much for you.
Budweiser beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
The field goal by Hall, his second of the football game, gives Tennessee a 20-point advantage. 27-7 with 6 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the game in Knoxville. That drive, 45 yards, 8 plays, 4 minutes, 22 seconds. Kickoff all the way through the end zone by Hall. Pulled down by Galloway, 2 yards beyond the baseline. Touchback, first down 10, East Carolina at the 20. Last year, Crandall, the quarterback, threw for 21 touchdowns, was intercepted 15 times. In this game, he has been intercepted once, and East Carolina turned it over on a fumble a moment ago, which Tennessee eventually converted into that field goal by Hall. First and 10, East Carolina at the 20. Here come the Pirates. Receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. McPhail, the tailback, against the 4-man front. This is McPhail, big hole right side, starting at the 20, and he knifes to the 24 before he is dropped as he gets there for a 4-yard gain. It will be second down and 6. The quarterback for East Carolina is Dan Gonzalez, 6'3", 205 sophomore, Neptune, New Jersey. Moving in now at running back will be Raymond Mabry, 5'7", 187 freshman from Grifton, North Carolina. Gonzalez, 6'3", 205, lines up his team trailing 27-7. Tennessee with 4 down linemen defensively. Gonzalez, good thrower. Handoff, and the tailback, who in this case is Mabry, is hit and dropped as soon as he got the football by Tennessee's Jeff Coleman. 6'4", 237, a freshman, right in position to make the tackle, and there's a loss on the play of right at 2 yards, maybe closer to 3. Anyway, it ends up third down and 8 yards to go. For Tennessee, Manning has gone all the way, and now Crandall has been relieved by Gonzalez at quarterback for the Pirates. Third down 8. Last year, Gonzalez 0 of 2 in the air. He has not thrown for an interception. Gonzalez back to throw. Gonzalez across the middle, complete. Nichols makes the catch, and Nichols has the first down. As Gonzalez runs a little delay, and Tennessee delays in getting to the ball, and Nichols is able to move to the 31-yard line before Corey Gaines makes the tackle. First down, East Carolina. So the Pirates now in the football game have a total of 18 first downs. A total of 7 points. Tennessee has 24 first downs in the game. And the Vols have 27 points, leading 27-7, 4:23 to go. First down, East Carolina at the Pirate 31-yard line. Gonzalez puts Mabry behind him, and Gonzalez fakes to throw. Pass is incomplete. It was intended for a leaping Troy Smith, and just as Smith went up to get the ball, he was belted, and the pass went between his fingertips as Raymond Austin was there to put the defense on for Tennessee. Gonzalez has the play. As into the game with it comes Galloway. And he will come as a slot man inside of Smith to the near side. On second down and 10 for East Carolina. 4:10 to go in the football game. Galloway is a man in motion, left to right. Gonzalez waiting. Here's the pass across the middle. It is complete. Great catch. Pulled down there by Big Shannon. Changed that. It was Smith who makes the catch and is immediately tackled, but it's going to be another first down. Terry Fair makes the tackle, but East Carolina moving upfield with the ball. Will have it first down and 10 to go and spot it at the 49-yard line of the Pirates. Inside 4 minutes to go. But East Carolina, Bill, one thing has impressed me. They run their route very well indeed.
They do. No question about that. And they have some very clever routes, too.
First down, East Carolina. Tennessee leads 27-7. The Pirates on the delay. Handoff goes to Mabry, and Mabry was slow, but just battles his way past midfield and fights to the 48-yard line for a gain of 3. Scott Gallion, the senior, is there to make the tackle for Tennessee. The Volunteers shuttling defenders in and out of the football game. White, Brown, Coleman have played. Green, Barron, Burton, Duff, Emery, Moore. Mercedes Hamilton just came into the game for Tennessee as a defensive tackle. It will be second down, 8 yards to go, East Carolina, trailing with 3:04 to go, 27-7. Ball at the 48-yard line of Tennessee. Gonzalez. The give goes to Mabry. Mabry turns the corner with good speed. Penalty marker is down. Could be a face mask as Deron Jenkins makes the tackle. But moving to the 45, on to the 40 before he's forced out of bounds is Raymond Mabry, 5'7", 187 freshman. And the penalty markers fly, and the officials discuss the situation. 27-7, 2:53 to go, and East Carolina is going to be assessed. Let's see as the referee comes to
holding offense.
It's holding.
15-yard personal foul, face mask, defense. Penalties offset. Repeat, second down.
All of that for nothing, Bill.
Didn't gain a yard, did it?
So it will be second down, 8 yards to go, 48.5-yard line. East Carolina with the ball. 27-7 is the score with Tennessee leading. Final period, 2:53 left. Next week, Tennessee and Georgia broadcast 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central, daylight time. Gonzalez at quarterback. Handoff Mabry. Mabry lashing through the right side. Started at the 48.5 and moves down to the 45. Tackled by Bill Duff, 6'3", 255 sophomore. Clock at 2:35 and counting. As East Carolina fell behind 17-0. Scored near the end of the first half to make it 17-7. Threatened early in the third quarter, missing on a fourth down try deep in Tennessee territory when a pass which appeared to be caught was juggled as the receiver stepped out of bounds. And so Tennessee stopped them on that fourth, and then the Volunteers have scored 10 points since then to open up the 20-point advantage. It will be third down right at 4 yards to go as Gonzalez takes the straight drop and is going to be sacked. Never had a chance. Thrown all the way back to his 46-yard line. Jonathan Brown, who had 2 sacks last year, picks up a sack here, but he had some help. And on fourth down into the football game will come Levine for East Carolina to punt. Deep for Tennessee, this will be Sean Summers standing back at his 10-yard line. Snap, punt, away. A line drive. Summers is going to let the ball skip. He handles the ball at the 15, and he's upended as he gets to the 18-yard line. 1:28 to go, and let's check the Tennessee quarterback. 38 yards on the punt, 3 yards on the return. And Peyton Manning, who's gone all the way, may not be in there right now. My guess is Tennessee is going to go with the freshman from Sevier County, Jeremy Bates. Wears number 8, and right now he's visiting with Peyton Manning, and into the ball game for Tennessee will be Jeremy Bates at quarterback. And let's see who the running backs will be. It's Mark Levine. In the fullback situation, Tennessee has Eric Lane there at fullback as Bates gives to Levine. And Levine cracks the left side of the line from the 18 to the 20. 1:22 to go in the football game. And Bill Anderson, a lot of people have played. Tennessee really never took complete charge of the game, but I think credit East Carolina with much of that. This is a good football team.
No question about that. East Carolina is a very good football team. In fact, it's a little bit surprising. However, I don't think Tennessee's... This is the first ball game, you know, John. I don't think either team has looked really sharp, especially Tennessee's offense. They've got some things to do in the first ball game. Let's look at the film and make a lot of corrections. I'm sure they'll do that.
Tennessee with the ball to our stations. We have some to make up, but we'll do that. Don't worry. Tennessee with the football, and this is Levine. On the give from Bates, moving through the right side. He gets a yard or two. The clock is counting down inside 38 seconds. East Carolina has 3 timeouts left. Tennessee has 2. My guess is East Carolina is just going to let the clock tick away as Tennessee will count it down as the ball will be marked. What's he going to mark it? Now. And so Tennessee does not have to run another play. And my guess is they won't. To our stations along the line, it's 27-7 Tennessee leading as the clock is counting away and the Volunteers of Tennessee register victory number 1.
Start it on up, you're behind the wheel. Move it down the road now, see how it feels, yeah. Add more life to your car, take it to the stars.
Texaco Clean System 3 gasolines are formulated to clean your engine's intake valves, fuel injectors, and combustion chambers while you're driving.
Add more life to your car, take it to the stars.
Recycle your drink cups in the Eastman Chemical Company barrels at all the UT games.
I would have recycled my cup at the game, but I was in a hurry. I would have, but I forgot.
I meant to put my cup in the Eastman barrel, but it was raining.
We planned on recycling, but my husband was cranky.
I thought I put it in, but I guess I didn't.
But my date was waiting.
But my beeper went off.
But I had a fever.
Don't be a butt. Recycle your cups in the Eastman barrel.
But...
No buts. Good sports always recycle.
Your growing family means growing responsibilities and a growing need for life insurance. That's why State Farm is there with a free family insurance checkup. Your State Farm agent will answer your questions about life insurance, explain your options, help you understand your choices. The advice is free, and all the decisions are yours. The State Farm Family Insurance Checkup, a great introduction to life insurance for growing families. So call your State Farm agent and ask for your free checkup.
Every year at this time, your Tennessee Ford dealer has the Ford Factory Authorized Clearance Sale. With more top sellers than anyone, in fact, 5 out of the top 10, your Tennessee Ford dealer offers you the opportunity to buy or lease America's best-selling cars and trucks, and with big savings that happen only at clearance time. Plus, their factory rebates, low financing rates, and special option savings available. For the best selection and the biggest savings on America's #1 sellers, be sure to see your Tennessee Ford dealer during his factory-authorized clearance sale. It only happens once.
The Volunteers of Tennessee defeat East Carolina by a score of 27-7. In possession, the two teams almost equal. Tennessee 30 minutes 51 seconds, East Carolina 29:09. And really, the tone was set with Tennessee's first touchdown drive. It was 87 yards in 18 plays and used 8 minutes and 4 seconds in the first quarter of the game. The Volunteers never trailed. The biggest lead was 17. It was 17-0 until the final difference, which was 20, as the Volunteers win 27-7.
This portion of Tennessee football is sponsored by your Texaco Wholesale Marketers of Tennessee, suppliers of Clean System 3 gasolines and Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. Highland Oil Company, Fast Stop Marts, Hohenwald, Tennessee. Harmon Oil Company, distributors of Texaco and Haviland motor oils in Nashville, Tennessee. Baker Energy Incorporated, Texaco Food Marts of Jackson, Milan, and Selmer, Tennessee. Jackson Oil Company, Clarksville, Tennessee, distributor of Texaco lubricants in Middle Tennessee. And J.B. Welmer Incorporated, Nashville, Tennessee. Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
This is John Wood, saying that fall is the best time of the year to seed your lawn. That's why you need Confederate Fescue from your co-op. Confederate Fescue has drought tolerance, is brown patch resistant, and performs well in both sun and shade. With all that Confederate Fescue has going for it, it's no wonder it's becoming the new standard for southern lawns. Remember, for Confederate Fescue and all your growing needs, go co-op.
There are plenty of signs that you've got a real friend in town. Breast
Petco is a drugstore that gives you so many ways to save. Plus, you can count on our complete pharmacy services and big pharmacy savings. In fact, we'll match any competitor's prescription price. We'll be there when you need us with many savings programs and services. We're proud to be your drugstore. Revco, a friend for life.
If I didn't have to work, I'd win the Nobel Prize for the person who has captured and released the most life. I do everything else till I had nothing to do. But they put me in commercial breaks. This bug for you. This bug for you. This bug for you.
Budweiser beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
The final score in this football game, 27-7, Tennessee wins. The ball scored first. As we mentioned, 87 yards, 18 plays. Peyton Manning sneaks it in from 1 yard out. It's 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. The Volunteers then convert with a field goal after 53 yards and 12 plays. The field goal of 37 yards by Hall makes it 10-0. After a pass interception, Tennessee connects on a 31-yard strike. Manning to Sylvan with 8:21 to go in the first half. And the score is 17-0. East Carolina battles back, marching downfield 67 yards, 11 plays. The touchdown coming, Crandall to Sellers, 7 yards. At halftime, the score.
And it's going to be informative at the same time. Tonight, we take you live to Neyland Stadium. We'll recap the rest of college football for you today and work in the other sports as well. But first, the Vols open the 1995 season at Neyland Stadium and give this guy not one but 2 eye patches. He needs them. The Vols taking on East Carolina, and the pressure was on this guy right away. Jay Graham, nice pickup for Tennessee. All those ECU coaches watching what happens next. It's Peyton rolling and hitting Joey Kent. Nicely done. Gets him out of bounds. And the drive continues for Tennessee. 4th down play right here. Jay Graham goes up and over, looking like little man Stewart right there. Picks up the first down. Tennessee gets 4 shots inside the 5. They do it on the first play. Peyton with the sneak. It's 7-0 UT. Second quarter, Peyton going to Jay. Off the pass. Jay has a big night tonight against the Pirates over there at Neyland Stadium. That drive leads to this. One of 2 Jeff Hall field goals. It's Tennessee 10-0 over the Pirates. A little bit later, East Carolina trying the fancy stuff right here. The half-pack option pass, but hey, not going to fool anybody. Duran Jenkins down with it. Far side, Duran. Far side. Keep it going, buddy. Inside the 40. Nice pickup for Tennessee. That leads to this. Manning fakes the handoff, fakes out our cameraman, and finds Nitro. Nilo. Sylvan, is he excited or is he excited? You bet. Got the touchdown right there. 17-0. Still Tennessee in the first half. ECU hits here. It's Marcus Crandall to Mike Sellers. 17-7 football game. Pirate fans waving those flags. We go to the second half. Tennessee's drive here, capped off by the touchdown plunge by Eric Lane, the fullback. Tennessee with the win tonight. It wasn't spectacular. It wasn't outrageous, but it was a win. 27-7. The Vols get the win over the Pirates at Neyland Stadium. And let's find out how the players and coaches feel about this one. Maybe some mixed emotions on this thing. Scott Finley is live at the big stadium with their reaction tonight. Scott?
You know, Jim, a couple of observations here. First on offense. The Vols come out, the first drive of the game. They march 87 yards, and they score a touchdown. They scored on 3 of 4 possessions in the first half. The missed field goal before halftime, the only time that they did not score. They did not punt, and they only punted twice in the entire game. So the offense certainly set the tone on ECU's defense. Now, defensively, the Vols did the same thing. ECU is a type of team that likes to go 10 yards at a time. The Vols contained those guys. They were unable to break the big plays, and a lot of the credit definitely goes to this defensive line.
Shane Burton, Leonard Little, I mean, they played a heck of a game. I mean, they kept them, scrambling around and gave us time to, if we was in a bad situation, they gave us time to, help ourselves out. I mean, they kept putting pressure on Crandall all night, and that was just helping us out just that much more.
We got some speed out there. We had him on the run, a few times, but, he kept his composure. He's a pretty good quarterback, and, he's probably one of the better quarterbacks we'll face this year. And, overall, I think we did a pretty good job containing him.
Felt great. At first I had to fill out the defense and see what they were doing. But after a while, I started to set into the game, and it just started to feel great.
You wanted that touchdown.
Oh, very much, very much. Too bad I didn't get it. That first drive really kind of set the tone, going forward on fourth down, really kind of said, hey, this is our game. We're going to dictate what y'all are going to do, and, had good balance overall, and that was a big series for us.
So Jay wanted that touchdown. Well, they gave him the game ball for the night he had, 144 yards rushing on 26 carries. He also had 20 receiving yards with 2 catches in the game. Peyton Manning's numbers real quick, 17 of 29, 178 yards, had the 1 touchdown pass to Nilo Sylvan. So overall, Coach Fulmer said very pleased with the effort in this game, and I think it's great preparation for Georgia coming in here next week. Jim?
Yeah, I think so too, Scott. You know, the thing that struck me about Jay Graham is the versatility tonight, not just running the ball, but also coming out of the backfield and catching the football. He's certainly proving that he's well-dimensioned. He's got a lot of talents, and the Tennessee's going to exploit those this season.
Exactly, and he was called on to do a lot more than tailbacks in the past. You know, Aaron Hayden and James Littleman Stewart, they kind of shared duties, had about 16 carries a game. Well, Jay comes in and has 26. And I think Reggie Cobb holds the record like 21, I think, is an average for carries in a game. So if this is what Jay Graham's going to get a lot of work this season, he certainly is productive on it.
He's the real workhorse. All right, thanks, Scott. Coming up next, we'll take your phone calls. Dial now, and don't be left out. The number to call is 637-6397. If you snooze, you lose. 3 words of advice here. Repeat dial function. Use it and call us now. Your phone calls and the rest of college football coming up. If you're heading to the fridge or wherever you're heading, you got 2 minutes. Greenville, or are you're an East Carolina fan, drove in from Greenville?
Yes, sir.
What was your sense for the feeling over at Neyland Stadium tonight?
Fabulous atmosphere for college football. Great weather. Like I said, we want to see Tennessee come to Greenville.
Well, I wish we could take credit for the weather, but you're right. It's a fabulous atmosphere over there at the stadium. And, you know, the Pirates, they go into Syracuse, I believe, next week. You guys have a good football team. You played well in the past. You worked your way to a bowl game last year, and although you don't do well in the bowl game itself, you have a good season last year. I don't think anybody from Tennessee really took this game for granted tonight.
Right. I hope not, because we had a lot of fans that came here, and we're proud of our team.
All right, well, thanks for the call, and have a good trip back to the coastal South, or I should say North Carolina
Greenville,
area.
North Carolina.
Greenville, North Carolina. All right,
yes,
well, have a
sir.
safe trip back there. Another call from Knoxville. Go ahead, you're on the line.
Yes, sir. I was wondering about Benji Schuler. The only reason I recognized him today is when he came into the game, he tripped when he was coming into the huddle. And I was wondering, do you think he'll get any playing time, and does he fit into the scheme here at Tennessee?
Well, I think he does. I think it's going to take some time. He came off the injury from last season, and Benji's, easing his way back into things. I didn't see him trip going out of the field, but certainly I don't think folks expect a lot from him right away, given the situation he was in last year with the injury and being hurt. And I think with Tennessee's receivers that they have this year, I think they're not looking for big things immediately out of Benji. But down the road, I'm sure that, Philip Fulmer and the rest of the coaching staff are at least hoping that Benji turns out to be the kind of receiver Tennessee is used to having on this football team.
Yes, sir. And one more thing. Do you think Jay Graham will get the carries through the year, about 25, 30 a game? Do you think he can keep that up?
I think he's going to have to. I mean, we talked earlier that Tennessee has had the luxury in the past with guys like Charlie Garner and Littleman Stewart and Aaron Hayden to really rotate running backs back there. And I think the big question that a lot of folks were asking Philip Fulmer going in this season is whether Jay has the durability to last the season and carry the ball 20, 25, maybe even 30 times a game. Philip seems to think so. Jay's looking forward to the opportunity, but I really think that the pressure is on Jay, so to speak, to live up to that kind of billing as far as durability goes. Now, I will say this, that guys like Sean Bryson and some of these other guys are coming up and backing him up, and the freshmen may get a lot more playing time down the road, but right now the focus is on Jay, and the question is, will that durability be there? Certainly it's something Tennessee hasn't had to worry about in the past. Tom, you're on the line. Go ahead.
Thank you. I was wondering what you thought about East Carolina's defense.
I think they did a pretty good job. I expected Tennessee to come into this football game and score 40, maybe 45 points, and they certainly didn't get that. I think Tennessee's offensive problems were somewhat a fault of their own, but I think that East Carolina played a pretty good defensive football game based on the final score. I expected them to score a few more points in this game, too. They didn't do it. The offense was, their offense, a little bit unpredictable. You didn't know if they were going to come at you with the big plays. They did. They tried to, but Tennessee seemed to shut them down. And I think the Vols maybe offensively didn't play as well as they wanted to, and credit maybe East Carolina's defense, at least partially, for that. Tim from Harriman, you're on the line. Go ahead.
Yes, I'd like to say congratulations to the Vols, and I hope they beat the snot out of Georgia next week.
Well, I tell you what, the Bulldogs are coming off that win this afternoon down in Athens. A big win for them. Ray Goff's kind of on the hot seat down there in Athens. And it was good to see Georgia win. I was pulling for them because I want to see them come in here next week with a 1-0 record and make this game interesting coming up next week between the Bulldogs and the Tennessee Volunteers. I want to thank you for your phone calls tonight. We'll continue with 6 Sports Saturday. Got the rest of the world of sports, including baseball pennant races, big Grand National race at Darlington, and the U.S. Open in tennis. It's all coming up in just a few minutes on the Saturday Slam.
No matter how old your furniture...
The offense, maybe expecting a few more points in the game tonight, but not a bad way, I guess, to get yourself into the season, Scott.
Yeah, I think the point to make here is, you know, they took a shot at the home run ball, and a couple times Joey Kent got held up by the defensive backs. A couple of passes were overthrown, but they did take the shot at the home run ball. And sometimes when you do that, you don't always pick up the first down. I mean, it puts you one down behind, but the Vols, even though they took the shot at the home run ball, they seemed to pick up the first down and kept the drives going, very sustained drives. I talked to Coach David Cutcliffe after the game. He says, you know, everybody would like the quick score, you know, and get the points on the board, but he was very pleased in how they handled those drives. Even though it's not the most exciting football in the world, the sustained drives and putting the points on the board and running that clock certainly works, and it's a win for Tennessee, and I think it's a good test to start off the season with a team as good as Eastern Carolina, especially when you got Georgia and Florida knocking at the door.
That's right, and it's smart football, too, just my opinion right there. Scott, thanks for your coverage over there at the stadium tonight.
Sure, you bet. What was that Notre Dame did again?
Notre Dame loses that game.
Dropped, I think.
Can you believe that to Northwestern, the Wildcats? Tracy Finley is beside herself in the newsroom tonight, a Northwestern graduate.